When you choose to play football at South Dakota State or Montana State, you know there will be days like this. But this is playoff football, so check your excuses at the locker room door. It's the first round of the NCAA FCS Championship, next on ESPN3. Welcome to the NCAA FCS Football Championship, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. We're in Bozeman, Montana at snowy Bobcat Stadium. FCS first round play. South Dakota State out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference against Montana State from the Big Sky. The FCS brackets look this way. The winner here advances to Fargo next weekend to take on the three-time defending FCS champs, North Dakota State. We'll update the brackets throughout the day. Hi, everybody. I'm Trey Bender alongside the former NFL and college defensive back Jay Taylor. Glad you're with us. These two programs have been fixtures in the FCS the last 3 seasons. Both of them have a common thread. They're committed to running the football. Yeah, and you're looking at two different styles. South Dakota State likes the rough and tough, chew up clock, but you look on the other side, Montana State, they do it a lot of ways, but they want to score points quickly and often. Well, when you talk about Zach Zenner, he's one of the best running backs in FCS history. He shoulders the load for the Jackrabbits offense. Yeah, you're looking at a kid that's gone over 2,000 yards more than once in his career. He's over 1,600 this year, 16 touchdowns, 3 in the passing game. As this offense goes how he goes, he's one of those guys, he's Mr. Everything to this team. Montana State has been dealing with another injury at quarterback, and Dakota Prukop has a knee problem. He's going to try to go today. Well, you talk about a dual threat. He really is. 900 yards rushing, over 2,000 yards passing, 17 touchdowns in the air, 13 on the ground. This offense puts a lot of points on the board because of his productivity. They need him to deliver in the snow. On defense, the leader is weak side linebacker Alex Singleton, the All-American, third in the FCS in tackles. We're ready to kick it off from Bozeman. Welcome back to Bozeman. It was dry this morning, not the case now. The weather has taken a turn for the worse. Snow forecast through the rest of the afternoon. You can see the numbers, a wind as well. It'll make the kicking game very interesting. The passing game could be an adventure as well. And you see the forecast that will continue into the evening hours here in Bozeman. They're used to these conditions. They were hoping for some good weather. It was great yesterday. As you look at the head coach for the Jackrabbits, John Stiegelmeier, with the program since 1988, winning his coach in school history, winning seasons 14 of their 18 years. Rob Ash on the other side, he's the winningest in his school's history, 7th most among active FCS coaches, 34 years overall. He has developed a fine program in Bozeman. High expectations for both schools. Jackrabbits will get the football first. Luke Daly, the redshirt freshman from Billings, to kick it away, and you're looking at Brady Mengarelli standing deep for South Dakota State. We're underway here, FCS playoffs. And the return for Trevor Wesley, and he breaks it to the near side of the field, and a nice return for South Dakota State. Bumped out of bounds across the 45-yard line. Trevor Wesley with the return. This South Dakota State team has really been led of late by Austin Sumner at quarterback, 50-year senior who missed 8 weeks start of the season with a broken foot. He's back now, gives them quite a dimension at that position. Very proficient with his arm, protects the ball, 12 touchdowns and 4 interceptions, likes to throw the long ball, has a 91-yard touchdown pass. 4-year starter, 3-time captain, and he's got the best behind him at running back and center. Play action on first down, Sumner to throw it. And he has a man, and it's Wesley, and it's close to the first down marker on the Bobcat side of the field at the 45-yard line. Keaton on the tackle. It's one of those situations with weather like this, it favors the offense. They know where they're going. They have a little bit better footing because they know when to break down. Defender does not. 3-receiver look. Here is Zenner straight ahead, breaks a tackle, and Zenner trying to take it the distance. And he does. Touchdown, South Dakota State. Zach Zenner, the All-American, with his 17th rushing touchdown of the season. He goes 45 yards for the score. You're going to see just a basic, simple draw as he gets the ball, reads it, puts his foot down, missed tackle right there by Moore, and he does the rest. He's a big back. He's 6 feet, 220 pounds. It's going to take more than one defender to bring him down in this weather. Two-time finalist for the Peyton Award, given to the best running back, a Campbell Trophy finalist. That goes the top scholar athlete in the nation. He is a complete package, and what a start for Zenner and the Jackrabbits on the road. 2 plays, 55 yards. Justin Siravaka for the extra point. 7-0, the Jackrabbits in front.
Quick start. You're going to see the offensive line. Watch the push. They push the right. It's a simple read. And this is the versatility of this running back. He uses vision well. He's patient behind the line, allows it to develop, and he has good speed. He's only been caught from behind, they told us, once on all his breaks. You can see right here, when the big boy gets moving, he's not thinking twice about getting back. You always hear about games in the rain and mutters. Well, this is a type of mutter right here, because this wet temperature, the wet snow on turf, is going to be really important for defenders to break down. At that point, they didn't break down well enough.
The Missouri Valley Football Conference career record holder in rushing and all-purpose yardage. That sure didn't take long, as they got the good kick return to set up the drive.
And that's field position is crucial in games of this magnitude with the weather. And when you can start your drive close to the 50, that's a win, especially on the road.
South Dakota State 8-4 this season, coming off back-to-back convincing wins over Western Illinois and South Dakota. And remember, the Missouri Valley is loaded this year. Illinois State, a powerhouse. We know about North Dakota State. We talked about them in the open. They feel like they have been prepped pretty well heading into the playoffs here.
Well, they play in a tough conference, just like Montana State does. But I think the added element, they understand running the ball, and they run it very well.
Jay Carlson, the kickoff specialist, with a short kick to the far sideline. On the return, it's Sean Johnson, and Johnson breaks free. Flag is thrown, he's to midfield, and he's finally taken down at the Jackrabbits' 43-yard line. There's the big playability from Johnson, who we will see in the backfield, but this is probably coming back.
Yeah, usually when you see a referee throwing that flag at a spot that the running back just went by, or the returner, that's usually what it leads to.
Andre Lowe, our lead referee here.
Doing the return. Holding, receiving team, number 17, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
As the play progresses, right on the right side of the screen, you can see that at the last second, the defender went to try to go to the outside. 17 kept his arm on the outside, and that's an easy call. Hands have to be inside, but in this weather, we might see a lot of that today.
Chad Newell, the guilty party. You can see the snow continuing to come down at a pretty steady pace here at Bobcat Stadium. And it will be Dakota Prukop. They were hoping he could go, coming off a knee injury, an MCL sprain. Peyton watch list guy prior to the injury, suffered it against Portland State. He's a special dual threat quarterback. Hands it off to Newell, straight ahead, not much doing. Newell is cut down in the backfield by Jesse Bobbitt, the weak side linebacker. Impact players.
Yeah, you're looking at right there. Sean Johnson had that return, very explosive player. And then Lally, the leading tackler on this defense. He gets and puts his nose in a lot of places. They're going to need him to make a lot of plays on this defense today.
Lally's the Mike linebacker. Nice play by the Will linebacker on the previous play. Prukop to the air, downfield, and he makes a connection. Called in by Sean Gates, and he's into Jackrabbits territory. A big play. Gates, the redshirt freshman, and big plays here despite these adverse conditions in Bozeman.
They got the wind behind them. They took advantage of it, and you're going to see this play. It's a drag route all the way from the other side of the field. He lets it open up, floats it out there, comes in front of the safety Gentili there, and makes a good play, protects the ball at that last second, which is important to get up there, and you can see why this offense puts a lot of points on the board. They move very quickly.
44-yard pickup as they're nearing the red zone now. Montana State on the march. Handoff, Johnson trying to get to the outside, nothing doing. Great pursuit. J.R. Plody, the right side end, was there, and he got some help from his teammates, including Lally.
The South Dakota State defense is not big on blitzing or bringing a lot of pressure. What they are big about is being fundamentally sound, keeping the play in front of them. They allowed that big play to get behind them. But as you watch this front, their coach and preached to be disciplined, to stay in your lanes.
3-yard loss. 2nd and 13 at the 31 now. Hard to make out the yard markers with the snow continuing to come down, but the offenses have looked good here early going. Prukop in the slot goes to the tight end, T. Salanoa. And he's inside the 25. It'll set up a 3rd down and short from there.
Tight ends could be instrumental in this game. If the weather continues the way it's going and the snow comes down, that visibility, that's a quarterback's best friend because that's that quick, easy release to get the ball out.
First team All-Big Sky tight end with an 8-yard pickup, and now it's 3rd and 5 from the 23. Straight ahead and close to the first down on the carry is Newell. We'll have to see where they spot it here. Nick Mears on the tackle.
Strong safety coming over, sticking his nose in. This defense tackles well, and to be honest, this is 4-down territory. Kicking will be something that I see not past attempt of 10, 15 yards.
And right now that's a little bit outside Dowley's range right now. 4th down and a yard, they'll go for it. Newell straight ahead. He has the first down as he drives it off the left side down to the 15. Fresh set of downs, and the home fans love it here.
Trey, that always makes me nervous when I see 4th and short and a quarterback in shotgun. You want to be under center. There's too much that can happen sometimes that far away. They're able to convert into a 1st down though.
1st down from the 15. South Dakota State getting on the board on a Zach Zenner 45-yard touchdown run. Bobcats' first possession looking good. Newell and Johnson, the running backs. They'll hand it off to Gunnar Brecky, and that did not fool South Dakota State. They put Brecky in a slot, and then they lined him up in the backfield. Didn't fool anybody.
Didn't fool anybody, but usually both play callers for both teams, offensive coordinator right now, Tim Cramsey, you call certain things to see what the defense is doing. The first series is usually you set these plays in motion. You want to see how the defense responds, sets up plays for later on in the game.
That was Jesse Bobbitt, the sophomore linebacker, again on the stop. 2nd and 8. Prukop from the gun. Handoff. Brecky slanting off right side. Puts his head down, and he's cut down. That was Nick Mears, the strong safety, with a nice tackle.
Chad Newell's big himself, 6'1", 220, trying to use that girth and body. Just explodes through the hole. Good wrap tackle there by Nick Mears, making it to where it's still 3rd and manageable for this Montana State offense.
3rd and 3 officially, just underway here from Bozeman. It's Newell keeping it. Prukop, and he slides close to the first down. Good play fake there to the running back, and Prukop, one of the best running quarterbacks in the country. And it looks like, did he get the first down? He's a little bit short. It is a first down. 1st and goal.
And I saw him gut up, grab his knee a little bit, but you're seeing they keep this pace and tempo going. This is why they've scored so many points. They don't slow down. They keep going, whether or not.
From the pistol, 1st and goal from the 5. Prukop, Newell, tripped up. Nice play in the backfield made by Jesse Bobbitt. The sophomore from Palatine, Illinois, has been everywhere here in the early going.
Yeah, they're running between the tackles for the most part. And this South Dakota State defense, they know how prolific this offense can be. They're doing a good job of getting off of blocks right now. They are winning that battle.
2nd and goal from the 4. This time 3 receivers left for the Bobcats. Newell straight ahead. Trying to drive the pile forward, and they're going to have a ball now at the 3-yard line. 3rd down coming up.
This is one of those situations. You've thrown one pass that got you down the field. Every other one has been a run play. You got the defense kind of primed up. You spread out a little bit. I'd use that field to my advantage. Get it to one of my speed guys on a reverse.
Brecky's in a slot. Now he'll go in motion. Handoff Newell straight ahead. He's in. Touchdown Montana State.
Great play call. They use the misdirection, bring the motion, pull the defense. Newell does the rest, puts his head down, pushes hard. Patrick Schuster tried to come up in there, but the momentum went with the running back. Touchdown.
So Newell from 3 yards out, capping off a 72-yard drive. It took 12 plays in almost 6 minutes. And now the extra point, and this will be an adventure throughout the course of this game. Mitch Greibel, the holder. Daly, 51 of 54 on the year. This is in adverse conditions. And they have a problem with the snap. Greibel's looking to throw it now. And it's incomplete. So they fail on the conversion, and it's a 7-6 game.
And as a coaching staff, you have to understand what you got to tell your players. There was no hot read on that. The guy released late. Everybody else was standing around and looking. You got to be excited about the score, but you got to be smarter about the execution on the extra point.
Bobbled snap, 1-point game in Bozeman. Dicey conditions in Bozeman, 2 touchdown drives, a problem on the extra point.
Yeah, as a coaching staff, you have to educate your guys because of the weather conditions to be ready. Nobody's ready. One guy did release, but at that point it was well covered. Nowhere for the ball to go. You have to understand in this type of weather, every point will be a premium.
Daly to kick it away, didn't get a chance to tie things up, as this is fielded by Brady Mengarelli. And this time the Bobcats hem him in and drop him near the 30-yard line. First drive for South Dakota State. The Zenner show after Wesley set him up pretty well.
Sure did. Got him out there to the 50-yard line with his excellent return to start the game. Then a nice play action pass by Sumner to get it to him again. Get a little positive yards, but then here's the big run. Zenner coming off, poor tackle, and he does the rest.
Special player nearing 2,000 yards rushing again this year after doing it each of the last 2 seasons for Coach Stiegemiller. Jackrabbits with 3 receivers left. They hand it off to Zenner, and he is shut down at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there at the point of attack. That was Tyrone Fa'anono, the freshman, shutting it down. Zenner again. They're not going to shy away from it. In fact, the coach, Stiegelmiller, said, if I had my druthers, I'd run it 80 times a game with number 31.
And you can see that now their first drive, they didn't do this. They're going with the no huddle themselves, trying to catch this defense off kilter, use your big back to pound it.
4-yard pickup there, 3rd and 6 now. And Sumner looks for the call from the sideline. They have some big receivers. Winicky and Schneider, both 6'4". Sumner's going to drop it off to Zenner on the backfield toss, and he turns it sideline and could go. Zach Zenner. Touchdown. "70 yards on the screenplay, and he does it again.
You're seeing why they call him Mr. Everything for this team. He catches it out of the backfield. He'll block. He'll run. He doesn't get caught from behind. To be the size he is, at 6 feet, 220 pounds, to move so well. But that Montana State defense has to be better. Poor tackling angles. You got to understand in bad weather, be in position, break down.
4th touchdown reception. That's touchdown number 21 this season for Zenner, the 5th-year senior from Eagan, Minnesota. And Soraka makes it a 14-6 game. One of the top running backs in FCS history, finishing off a 3-play, 74-yard drive. Good start for the Jackrabbits. 2 Zach Zenner touchdowns. The story here in the early going in snowy Bozeman. Zenner first a touchdown run, then this touchdown catch.
Yeah, it was a simple screen. Defense is in position, but watch the angles. Poor angles, seam opens up. If you take the wrong angle in this bad weather, slipping, you'll never get there. And this is a running back that will make you pay regardless. So you have to make sure you stay on your P's and Q's, you do your job assignments, you come down in your lanes, and you team tackle.
NFL scouts have heard about Zenner's work ethic. It is unrivaled, and he also has some great ability with his speed and his size. The kickoff from Carlson, fielded by Brecky, and Brecky turns the corner with a nice return across the 30, and they'll mark him out at the 35-yard line. So the Bobcats look good on their last drive, and so far we're seeing a lot of offensive fireworks, and that could surprise a lot of people considering these conditions.
Yeah, but I think it works to their benefit. I mentioned in the open, in weather conditions like this, it benefits the offense because they know where they're going. As a defender, you do not. So you have to play a little bit more cautious to make sure your feet stay underneath you. So I think as both teams continue this fast pace, we may see a lot of points on the board.
Bobcats are 6-12 in the playoffs here at Bobcat Stadium, and they're getting a battle from a very good team out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. This drive from the 35. Prukop, Brecky, hit, drop for a loss. Coming up to shut it down, Jerian Butler, the junior corner.
Good play. Watch as he comes up. He sees just a simple flare to the running back, comes up, breaks down, and then fires through. He saw his target, got there quickly, wrapped up.
Loss of 2. Butler from Tempe, Arizona, an all-state kid who is also a track star in high school. 2nd and 12. Little delay. Brecky breaks one tackle, and then he's cut down again by Butler. It'll be a 3rd and 8 coming up from the 37.
Butler saved a big play right there. If he was able to get around that edge, he saw sideline and daylight. He might still be running.
Now, you play in these conditions as a DB. Can it help you playing defense in the snow?
No, it cannot. Because of footing, because they know where they're going, it makes it tough. You have to actually play a little slower to be under control.
Pretty good on those last 2 plays for Butler. 3rd and 8 now at the 37. Prukop, pocket collapsing. He's going to try to run for it, and he's short of the 1st down.
What we're seeing right now is South Dakota State is winning the battle of the line of scrimmage. They're putting them in 2nd and long. And when you look at South Dakota State, they've been playing 2nd and 5, 2nd and 4. It allows you to do so much more offensively when you can do that.
Nice play by Austin LaPlante and his defense as they do force the punt. And the left footer, Trevor Bolton, the junior from Great Falls, Montana, standing back at his 26-yard line. Gets the kick away, a spiraling kick and a good one considering the conditions. Jerian Butler makes one-man miss, comes to the near side, a flag is thrown, still on his feet. Butler up to close to midfield before he's run out of bounds, but they have that flag to sort out here.
Yeah, that'll be a block in the back. You can see as he got broken free there. As a person, you got to know, stay out of the way when you can get shoulder to shoulder with him.
During the return, illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 32, 10 yards from the spot of the foul, 1st down.
Kyle Paris flagged for that one. They'll back him up. 4:58 to go. A lot of fireworks here in cold conditions in Bozeman. 14-6, Jackrabbits. Snowy conditions here at Bobcat Stadium. 1st round FCS playoff action. South Dakota State leading Montana State 14-6. A couple Zach Zenner touchdowns. And the ball at the 11-yard line for the Jackrabbits, who have looked really good, showcasing the 2-time All-American. Important for the Bobcats, they have a chance to get some good field position if their defense can stand tall.
They're going to need to respond. This is important. The first 2 drives, South Dakota came out, they capitalized the score. They need to stop being that your offense wasn't able to put points up the match.
2 receivers, Zenner the lone setback. From the gun, he'll get the call. He'll be a marked man throughout the course of this one as he takes it for a couple yards left side. Let's take a look at how both teams plan for success today. Brought to you by Northwestern Mutual.
Well, you're looking right here for South Dakota State. They got to keep the offense off on the bench. You can see how quickly they like to move, running the ball as we've seen and eating up the clock. They went no huddle last series, but you see them slowing it down right now. On this defense, they got to shut Zenner down, which they're not doing a good job, but they got to stay healthy. They got to make sure nobody has any groins, gets knocked out of the game so this defense doesn't run thin.
2nd and 9, Zenner, and before they can get the play started, some movement, they're going to back up South Dakota State.
False start, offense, number 86, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Dallas Goddard, the redshirt freshman tight end.
And that's something you don't want to do right now. Your offense has been clicking, been playing well, no major issues at all. You don't want to get a penalty, pinning yourself back into the red zone where the crowd noise and everything else can get amped up.
Brandon Andrews, a junior receiver, has checked onto the field now, and they'll go with Zenner split out and a 5-receiver look, empty backfield. Sumner near his goal line. Completes it. It's Winicky, and he has a first down. Across the 20-yard line, his 67th grab. What a career already for the Missouri Valley Football Conference Freshman of the Year.
And Coach Ash talked about his DBs. They have to step up and make some plays. They're going to have to use those safeties in the box. And right now, the corners are not winning those one-on-one battles on the outside.
Get a little bit of field position after that connection. There's a look at Jake from Maple Grove, Minnesota. Cam Jones, the tight end, shuffles in motion into the backfield. They'll throw it again. Wesley with the grab, gets to the edge, and he's close to a first down. Run out over there by Deontay Flowers. They're not shy about throwing it. We talk about Zenner, but they have some talented guys on the perimeter.
They definitely do. Big, and they also have speed. That play right there, Deontay Flowers had to be quicker. His receiver went to block the inside DB. You got to react much quicker on that play.
9-yard pickup, second and a yard now. Late stages, first quarter. Zenner trying the right side, keeps the legs churning. He will have enough for the first down out to the 31-yard line. He's a big kid. You know, he's 6 foot and 220, but he gives you 100% of 100%. That's what his coach says.
He does. Well, he's a pre-med student, so he understands what attention to detail means, and that's exactly his work ethic and what he does. When the coach, he couldn't stop raving about him. He said, this guy is Mr. Everything, unassuming, you would not know. He just comes to the practice and class and works hard.
This is the only school that recruited him, South Dakota State. What a career he's had. Sumner. First down grab. Out of bounds with it is Jason Schneider, their captain, a fifth-year senior.
And what's beautiful about that play is Sumner threw it back shoulder throw. He saw the DB had good coverage, threw it back shoulder, allowing his big receiver the opportunity to come back to the ball. Great play. And you're seeing why South Dakota State has made it to the first round of FCS. Plays like that on offense, moving the ball, keeping teams off balance.
11-yard pickup. Schneider's a big target as well, 6'5", 225 on that last grab. Straight ahead, Mangarelli breaks one, and he has a first down into Bobcats territory. So Zenner gets a breather, and Mangarelli, a redshirt freshman from Prescott, Arizona, with a big run.
And I like the way they're calling their plays. They're going no huddle when they get first down, but you see another read screen, another missed tackle right there. That missed tackle coming from, I think, Devin Jeffries. But you can't make those kind of missed tackles because you see what happens. It turns into a big run.
From the 35, after the 22-yard pickup, Sumner to the air, and it's incomplete. He wanted Schneider down near the goal line. Yeah, this tempo is creating some problems, isn't it? They've got them on their heels.
And they're working it to their benefit. You brought it up in the open, Trey, about they lead the conference in time of possession. But they're doing this sporadically and smart. They're doing their normal game plan, but at certain points in times, they turn it on. They see they got the defense on the hill. And as a defensive coordinator, you got to figure out what's wrong with that because the players are not getting lined up. So you got to get them to the sideline, tell them what needs to happen to calm them down.
2nd and 10 at the 35. Empty backfield again. Sumner over the middle, and a tough catch made in traffic. And then gang tackled. Robert Marshall in on the tackle on Mangarelli as they go to the running back for a nice play. 7-yard pickup.
Nice break up by Marshall. He met him when the ball got there, made it for no gain. But again, the South Dakota State offense putting themselves in third and manageable. That opens the playbook. Anytime you can go third or 5 or less, the defense doesn't know if you're going to run, if you're going to pass, what you're going to do.
3rd and 3, and Zenner is back on. 2 touchdown drives and 2 possessions. Can they get a third? Zenner straight ahead, puts his head down. He carries Odenko the end for a first down. That shows you the strength of Zenner, the running back.
And this defense, you got to think about it. They're reeling a bit. They had a tough game the last time they were out here on this field against a rival. And it seems right now they're still having a hard time slowing things up. I mean, their offense has helped them out because they've been able to put a lot of points on the board. But when your quarterback is hurt a little bit, not able to do what he needs to do, defensively, you're going to have to find a way to make plays.
First down from the 25 now. 3 receivers. Winneke split near side, looking his way, and incomplete. Winneke went toward the goal line, Wesley toward the sideline, and he couldn't connect with him.
That's one of those plays they did the first series where they drove down and got that first score, where the slot guy does a simple out route. The safety's going to have to get up there closer. You know, Barnett had that coverage. If he'd have caught that ball, he might have still been running.
South Dakota State has been ranked every week since October 29th, 2012. The golden era of their program, looking really good here, trying to get past the second round this year in the FCS playoffs. Sumner has plenty of time, fires for the goal line, and incomplete. A flag is thrown. That was intended for Dallas Goddard, the tight end.
The only thing I can think about is the defender pulled him as he got by.
Yeah, the preliminary call is this is going against the defense.
Holding, defense, number 5, 10 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
That's a rover, Marshall.
Yep, he gets beat, and then he goes over top to try to knock the ball down. That's actually not where the penalty was. The penalty happened sooner than that. I guess they got it mixed up. It was actually Keaton that was the one. He got beat. Instead of just waiting to play the ball, grabbed on the jersey a little bit, they're going to call that every time.
First down now for South Dakota State after the penalty. Ball at the 15-yard line. Zenner, man in the backfield. He will not go down easily, though. Take a loss there. I mean, he's just not going to make it easy for you as Odenko and a couple other blue jerseys finally drag him down.
His legs keep driving. Doesn't look like he's moving fast, but he is moving. And that's how this defense has to play. They have to team tackle. They need to figure out a stop here because this offense is showing they're the ones that like to put up a lot of points right now. And the Montana State needs to figure out a way to respond.
A lot of fireworks here in the first quarter. Zach Zenner has a couple of the touchdowns. A 45-yard run. Montana State had the answer with Newell from short yardage, but then Zenner on the touchdown catch. 14-6 as we head to the second quarter. 14-6, South Dakota State out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference leading the Big Skies Montana State. A couple Zach Zenner touchdowns, 45-yard run, and a 69-yard touchdown reception. Here are the top seeds in the playoffs. You notice North Dakota State with a loss this year. They're the 3-time defending champs. Eastern Washington, the Big Sky champs. Illinois State out of that powerful Missouri Valley at number 5.
A lot of teams representing very good divisions.
2nd and 10. After the quarter break, Sumner going to work with a single back and 3 receivers. Goes for Winneke, and he can't hang on. Near the goal line, it was close. Deontay Flowers challenged over there.
Does what you're supposed to do as a DB. When you're going against, he's 5'11", going against 6'5", what do you wait to do? You go through the arms. You see the ball go up. Now you go, you strip it away. Good play by the defender. Nothing much the offensive receiver could do.
First team all Big Sky. Deontay Flowers, a 3-year starter, senior out of San Diego, forces a 3rd and 10. Sumner wants some movement. They send Schneider in motion up there with Winneke top of the screen. He's looking that way. Pressure coming. Sumner's going to scramble. Inside the 10, slides inside the 5, and looks like he has a first down at the 4-yard line.
Sumner not known for using his legs that much to run downfield. Defense, good job. Coverage is there. Nothing for him to go to. Uses his legs. Probably needs to tuck that ball away a little bit better. But that's a way to extend the play. That breaks the back of a defense when you do everything right, and they still end up with the first down.
dedicated leader, recovering from broken foot, suffered on a scramble at Missouri, looking really good with this escapability there. Jumbo set now, 1st and goal. Center, hit, dropped in the backfield. That was Flowers with a nice play from the corner.
I dialed up, and I think what they did, defense coordinator Jamie Marshall, blitz, bring that pressure. He brought that pressure. You know they're going to run the ball, load that box, force them to have to try to put it up in the air because, as you just said, Trey, Zenner's going to get that ball. He's going to try to punch it in.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and goal now. This Montana State team puts a lot of pressure on their corners to make plays, and that includes in the run game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they needed to have happen in that one. This defense has given up so much the first part of this game.
Center, right side, maybe a yard, and that's it to the 4-yard line as they bottle that up. Alex Singleton, their leading tackler, shutting it down.
You know, Rhett Young came flying in there, missed him. You cannot tackle Zenner high and out of control. You have to come to control. That could have been a couple more yards back than where it was. Now you have to be prone. If I'm the defense, I tell my corners, you all by yourself, will come with the pressure blitz. If I'm South Dakota State, I'm going to do what I've been doing. Give it to my big guy or play action and get it to a tight end.
Double tight end formation. The fullback is Lauscher in front of center. Play action. Sumner. Backside wide open. Is it caught? No indication. They say no. It was Goddard who could not hang on.
They did exactly what I thought. Play action, dial up, get the ball to the tight end. Watch, Flo takes everybody one way. He's all by himself. Watch this. It just was a little bit not enough zip on the ball. Otherwise, that would have been another touchdown.
I was looking for an official's indication down there. They're going to take a look at this one. Play under further review here. Did Goddard hang on?
Sumner would love to put a little bit more on that. Definitely can't see nothing from that angle. You can see the ball move at the tail end right there. This will give us a better shot at it. Right there. Oh, see the edge of it? Does not have control of it. If his hands were underneath and had control of it and the tip touched the ground, but he showed that he had control, I would think they would give him that catch. At that point, it doesn't look like he has the control, and I would agree that what they did on the field was incomplete. I don't see enough information, in my opinion, to overturn that.
And the back judge apparently called it incomplete. I was looking at every official but the back judge, who was sitting down by the goalpost there, had his hand on the ground calling it an incomplete pass, but they're going to take a closer look here. And the ruling is an incomplete pass. It was close.
Definitely was close. Now this is important points here. Every point is premium in bad weather. We already witnessed a missed field goal or extra point. You can see somebody running out late. This is already a bad start trying to kick a field goal. Everybody needs to know they need to be on the field.
21-yarder for Justin Sirivaka. He's 16 of 17 on field goals this season from the right hash. And he got it. Looked pretty good there, trying to get that plant foot set. He did. And Sirivaka, the fifth-year senior who's had a tremendous career, delivers to make it 17-6 South Dakota State.
Well, right now what we know is this. South Dakota State has had the ball 3 times. They've put scores on the board of a touchdown, field goal. Montana State, for as many points as they put on, Coach Ash talked about it. He goes, we got to get out fast. We got to put points on the board early. They got the early touchdown, missed the extra point. Since then, the offense has sputtered a little bit. Why? First down. They haven't been able to get themselves positive yards on first down. They need to come out and realize that this South Dakota State defense, they're not going to just give it to you. They play very stout. They play very disciplined. They don't do a whole lot. You kind of know what they're going to do. They just beat the man in front of them. So if they want to get themselves back in this game, it's imperative that they put together a drive and put a touchdown on the board and not just a field goal.
Well, Montana State, a proud tradition, not off to a good start here as you see the thumbnail sketch of this school. 16th NCAA trip. Now, they're the only school in the country to have national titles at 3 different levels. And this is a program, when you go back through the years, has always been in the hunt, but they're really in the best stretch in the program history right now. Their 9th FCS playoff trip, and Rob Ash appears to be the perfect guy for this program.
He's done a lot for it, brought this program to the level they're at now, very competitive, and they expect to win. But they need to understand execution and discipline the detail.
3 Big Sky titles. He's Big Sky Coach of the Year in 2010. His team's going to have to come from behind here in snowy conditions. The kickoff into the hands of Brecky. Brecky near side, and he's dragged down at the 28-yard line.
Tackled on the play by number 12, Trey Carr.
Trey Carr on the tackle on special teams for South Dakota State. South Dakota State, 8th in the nation at the FCS level in time of possession, and really it's been about the big play as opposed to the time ball control thus far.
Right, and that's the thing about it. This offense, they can really do it multiple ways. You're looking at the big back Zinner. He's able to take it the distance if he needs to, as well as the receivers. They can put the points up with other people. Coach told us that on the call.
In motion, Tanner Roderick. Brewcop, Brecky, hammered. TJ Lally had a beat on that from the outset, and he shuts him down, the captain with a big play.
These teams are playing at 2 different speeds right now. This defense for South Dakota State, especially when you look at Lally, they are flowing around and moving really quickly. And when you look at what Montana State is doing, it seems like they're a little bit lackadaisical right now. They got to pick up that tempo.
Loss of 4. 2nd and 14 now. Split backs this time for Prukop and a couple receivers. Newell. There's not been much between the tackles. That was Nick Mears coming up from the safety spot.
Now let's think about this, Trey. We talked about it right before they came out. They started with a negative play. They got another negative play. Now they're 3rd and long in this type of weather. You allow the defense to dictate. They know you need to pass. They're going to keep the play in front of you. You got to help yourself out. We know their defense has been struggling a little bit. The offense comes out and quickly does a 3 and out. It makes it tougher for a defense to respond.
In motion is Johnson. Prukop rolling left, throwing off his back foot, and it's dropped. Greibel would have had a first down. It would have been a tough catch near midfield. They'll have to punt it away.
That play would have worked in great weather. That's tough in this type of weather. You can see they're trying to let it develop. There's no way for him to completely drive into that ball when he comes out of his break. And so he just has to try to throw that arm up out there. Defense is going to have to come out and try to respond.
Trevor Bolton, the junior, who leads the FCS in net average at 40.8. Trying to bang one out of here, and it's a fake. Throws it to Greibel, who makes the catch. Can he get to the first down stick? Yes! And the Bobcats keep the drive alive.
What a gutsy call. Not only did you do a fake punt, you threw it over the middle of the field short. They had every opportunity to stop this play. You're seeing Greibel comes, catches it right here. Tackler coming up to be made. Trey Carr misses him. And then the will to get the first down. They need to get points off of this. That's a good spark plug. Let's see if they can get that tempo going like they did on the first drive and move down the field.
That's a 15-yard completion. If that backfires, they're in a really tough spot here in the second quarter. They roll the dice, and Rob Ash and company come up roses. Here's Prukop to throw it now. And it's incomplete. He wanted his tight end, Lee Perkins. 2nd and 10.
That is a very difficult throw. Prukop did not get his shoulders squared looking downfield. When you're going opposite direction, he's right-handed, so he's going to his left. It's important for those types of throws that you take that beat second, square up, because if you don't, the ball will sail on him just like it did.
2nd and 10. The 42-yard line for Montana State. Johnson on the carry. There's nothing there. He lost his footing, and he's going to lose yardage back to the 41. They have really clogged things up in the middle. J.R. Plody, the junior end, was giving chase that time.
Well, the Montana State offensive line needs to take better pride in what they're doing because they're losing the battle against the South Dakota State defensive front. They're playing on Montana State's side of the ball, which makes it harder for the running back to find a lane. You can see on the other side, they've been very effective because they've been winning that battle.
And here they are again, Jay, 3rd and long situation. Brewcop out of the backfield. Johnson cannot get to the edge. He's shut down by T.J. Lally, and it's 4th down again. And that's frustrating when you are able to convert on a special teams fake on a punt, and you're not able to turn it in anything good.
Well, that's the thing about it. Offensively, they got to be more efficient on execution. You can see the defense. There was no way that play was going to succeed. This defense is their model, keep it in front of you, and that's exactly what they're doing. Nobody was behind each other. They stayed in lanes. You just look at Montana State, the scores, that's kind of what happened. They didn't stay in their lanes. They didn't hustle to the ball, and it equaled to being touchdowns.
Lally with a big play, their captain, as they'll force the punt from Trevor Bolton. No fake this time. The left footer gets it away. A wobbly kick. Butler's going to let it hit. And then he tries to recover it. Dangerous play, and he's on it at the 17-yard line.
I guarantee the coach will be having a conversation with him when he comes to the sideline. You do not, I repeat, you do not do that when they're around. You call hot, you get away from the ball, but you definitely don't do what he just did.
Snowy conditions. Stay away. They're lucky to still have it, and they have an 11-point lead. It continues to snow. It's getting colder. 3 degrees currently, and the snow continuing at South Dakota State. Not bothered by the cold one bit. Leading 17-6 with the football. Zach Center already has a couple touchdowns. He tries it straight ahead this time and nothing doing. Lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage on that carry. Let's update the FCS bracket. Already the Richmond Spiders have moved on with a convincing win. See the top of the bracket there. Liberty in, first year in the FCS playoffs. Sam Houston State, they've been a traditional power.
Sure have. We were with them last year, and they've always found a way to keep themselves relevant and be around. And it kind of helps because the more you play, the more experience your young kids get.
Winner of this one will get North Dakota State, the 3-time defending champs, in Fargo next weekend. Sumner on 2nd and 10, looking for the tight end, and the catch is made. That was actually Jason Schneider, who's built like a tight end. He's a little bit shaken up, their wide receiver, as he went to the sideline.
I think he fell on the ball. So Montana State did a good job by winning on 1st down, forcing a 2nd and 10, so they didn't get good 3rd short. But this is what South Dakota State's been doing so effectively. Getting the pass out to their big receivers, making the defense play them honest. And you can see as he catches it, it's hard. That ground is turf. It's snow. It's like 20 degrees out there. It could be 15 for all we know at this point. And so when you hit that ground like that, yeah, that hurts a little bit.
Schneider, last year's school record, 78 catches. And they can ill afford to lose this guy. He's a perfect complement to Winicky, 2 of the top receivers in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. 3rd and 3. Again, you're in a position where you can run the ball here, Jay.
Yep, 3rd and short. The playbook is wide open. They've been effective. I would assume they would run the ball again.
Pistol formation for Austin Sumner. Play fake, throws it to the sideline, incomplete. Had a man open, it was Brandon Andrews. He couldn't hang on.
Could not. Quick throw pressure was coming. Good play by the defense. I think they had a blitz coming. Forced a 3 and out. That's the first time in the game. See if the offense can come back out and try to respond.
Great fans here in Bozeman, battling the elements, the snow, the temperature on its way towards 0 degrees, and there is a superstar in the return game, Sean Johnson, awaiting this punt from Ethan Sawyer. Gets the kick away. It's a wobbler. Flag is thrown, and the punter roughed as the fair catch is made by Johnson. That'll keep the drive going.
Special teams is hurting Montana State in so many ways. You missed the extra point. You gave a big kick return on the opening drive.
Running into the kicker. Defense number 6, 5-yard penalty. The results of the play is a first down.
And this is the most costly one right now to this point in the game, is because your defense did a good job, got off the field. There is no way you're going to block this ball in this type of weather. You can't control yourself. So why are you even getting that close to the kicker? It serves no purpose. You need to come up under control in case he bobbles it, but there's no way you're getting there on the block.
Well, you say Academy Award for the punter, did a nice job selling it, but any contact is automatic 5 yards.
Right.
That's all they needed.
He didn't even need to sell it, because just the fact that he couldn't come down under control. You got to give the punter the opportunity to come down. He get right into that back leg. They're going to call that every time.
Center straight ahead. And he's cut down on a nice tackle by Alex Singleton. That's a great one-on-one matchup. Singleton spying Zenner, 2 All-Americans, pick up the 3.
Right, now remember we talked about last series, they got him for a no gain on first down, which helped them to get off the field. This situation, they just gave up 5 yards on the first down. Now it opens up more of the playbook. The defense is going to, I think, have to come with more pressure to try to get South Dakota State off the field.
2nd and 6 officially at the 35-yard line. Tight end in front of Zenner. He'll get the handoff again off the left side, keeping the legs churning. Leans forward. And it's going to be a couple yards short of the first down. 3rd and short coming up.
Look at this simple dive play, man on man, gets wrapped up. Now watch the legs keep driving. He's just not willing to go down. He is determined to take every touch of the ball to the house.
Averages 5.8 per carry. He's had some big runs, but he gets the down and dirty yardage as well.
He might get the ball again.
3rd and 3. Trips formation right. They're going to throw it that way. Wesley the catch, strung out, and I don't think he got to the first down. That was a nice play made by Cole Moore, the Sam linebacker, forcing him out. It is 4th down.
And that's the kind of play that you got to have as a defense. Watch it. They see the receiver screen happening. He fights through the block, gets out there, makes it to where the receiver has no way of getting there. That's Cole Moore getting it done, and that's what you need, because earlier in the game, he missed that tackle that allowed Zenner to get that first touchdown.
So Sawyer again, this time with a little bit more field position to work with to punt it. End over end. Johnson will take it off of a couple hops at the 20. Makes a man miss. Johnson dangerous. Breaks another tackle. Johnson still on his feet. And finally dragged down at the 40-yard line. He is dynamic in the open field.
Remember what I told you beginning, Trey, that as a defender, you always have to break down even more because you don't know where you're going? Watch as this happens. The defenders are coming up. They break down. He uses it against them, sets them up, gets the positive yards, puts this offense in a good start to see if they can put some points up on the board.
A look at the FCS championship bracket. Fordham and Indiana State have punched their second-round tickets. Montana looking good down the road to Missoula. Here, Montana State struggling in Bozeman with South Dakota State. Prukop on first down after the 27-yard return by Johnson, and he picks up a couple, and that's it. Here's a look at the bracket. On the other side of the bracket here, Montana handed Montana State a 34-7 loss in their final. They're really playing well, the Grizz, after that win over the Bobcats in the last game.
They sure are, and you know, poor San Diego going to a cold weather. I'm sure they're like, man, this is cold up here.
Well, it didn't affect Coastal Carolina last year when they went to Missoula, but it can affect many teams as we near the 0 on the temperature gauge here. Brecky on the carry right side, a yard, and that's about it. Montana State again looking at a 3rd and long situation, 3rd and 7.
Yeah, I just question the play calling right now. That last one, first they went with the pass play, wasn't much play action. The receivers aren't winning the battles. You have a quarterback that's out there that's not 100%, and then the running in between. But it goes back to offensive line. They're not winning that one-on-one battle. South Dakota State's able to play on their side of the ball.
2 for 6 on 3rd downs. You see the numbers there, 3rd and 7. Prukop play fake, quarterback draw, and he's hammered, and he's hit short of the first down. TJ Lally put a helmet on him and knocked him down, and it'll be 4th and a couple coming up. And they are thinking of going for it here, Jay.
At this point, you got to have some momentum. You got to do something. You can see a design quarterback boot. But see how he's gimping? You see that little hitch in the step as he's running? He is just not 100% to use that. This is a quarterback that had 13 rushing touchdowns, so he knows what to do. But physically, in this type of weather, it just makes it tough.
Tough to have the hard cut with that MCL sprain. They'll go for it on 4th and 2 at midfield. Straight ahead, first down yardage to the Jackrabbits 45 for Newell, the sophomore.
Good play call. Get the big back in there. He's effective on that first drive. They hadn't used him much since then, but he can come in there and get that big nasty yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, you can see the snow really coming down. It was snowing sideways just moments ago, but it has really picked up here, and it's going to make these conditions even more adverse, and it really magnifies how big that start was for South Dakota State. Prukop looking for Johnson. He's got it in stride, and he's inside the 10-yard line. Sean Johnson with that sprinter speed and a big play for the Bobcats offense.
A play that was well needed. Use the speed of your running back. Put that ball out there. Allow him to outrun the defender. He had Dallas Brown on him. Dallas Brown could not keep up. Nice throw by Dakota.
37-yard pickup, 1st and goal from the 8. Johnson, left side, navigating his way inside the 5, near the goal line. And he's a little bit short. It'll be 2nd and goal inside the 1.
Smart move by Johnson. Most people would think, why didn't he just jump outside and keep going? The footing is not that good, so it isn't like he could have put a burst to get outside. He waited, set the block up, just came inside, got positive yards.
And they'll take Johnson out now. They'll go with a power set now. Salanoa, the tight end, is in the backfield in front of Chad Newell.
See right here, I wish the quarterback was under center.
From the gun, Newell straight ahead, easily into the end zone. Touchdown, Montana State. They get the big play to set them up, and they're on the board.
You just saw the parting of the Red Sea. The crowds are excited. They got to score to get themselves back into the game. This offensive line is starting to wake up a bit. Did a great job of creating that hole.
Now, Greibel's going to take the snap here. They're going to go for 2. Greibel's going to roll and run and score the 2-pointer. They said they'd use Mitch Greibel in the Wildcat formation. They use him there on the conversion, and he makes it 17-14.
Well, you knew they had to go for 2 at some point, missing that extra point. So that was a big play. Puts them now within 3, but let's look at this touchdown again. Nice clear out, big hole for the running back. And then you're going to see Greibel doing the rest. Getting the ball, using his speed, using advantage of thinking they're going to pass, running it in, got themselves back into the game.
No one would dare question the toughness and intestinal fortitude of the Montana State fans. Look at the weather conditions here. Last we checked, 3 degrees, blowing snow. It's getting worse as the afternoon wears on. Coach Ash getting a big touchdown to draw within 3 as Dally kicks it away for Montana State. Fielded by Wesley. He breaks a tackle. Wesley to midfield, and a nice return, and the special teams have been big for the Jackrabbits, giving them a short field throughout this first half.
You know, most people understand when you play football, there's 3 facets: offense, defense, special teams. You like to win at least 2 to 3, if not all 3. South Dakota State right now is winning that special teams battle in all aspects. Their return game has been excellent. They're giving this offense and this running back a short field, which makes it tougher on the defense to respond.
See the masses bundled up, cheering on their team within 3 now. Wesley, by the way, from Oro Valley, Arizona. He doesn't seem to be bothered by the conditions. He's played really well as a receiver and a returner. Sumner on a play fake. Over the middle. Winicky with a catch, and that's a first down, tackled by Flowers after a pickup of 15.
Nice play action. They've been running the ball so well. Offensive line giving them protection. Defense has to play it honest, steps up in the pocket, makes a nice throw.
Zach Center, a hole straight ahead, breaks a tackle, keeps the legs churning. What an effort inside the 10. And the Jackrabbits will have a 1st and goal. Is he as tough as nails, Jay? I mean, he has the size, the speed, and he is a load. Tough guy to bring down.
He sure is, and you have to wrap up. Watch as he comes in. Wrap your arms. You can't to throw a flipper in there. You throw a flipper in there, that's not going to bring him down.
23 yards on the carry, and there's another touchdown for Zinner. 2 rushing touchdowns, a receiving touchdown. It's been the Zach Zinner show here in Bozeman.
This South Dakota State offense is showing they can put points up with anybody. It starts with the special teams, giving them a short field again. And then you're looking at a pass, run, and they're right in the end zone just that quickly. We were talking about how quickly Montana State likes to score. South Dakota State scoring just as fast.
Well, they waste little time answering as Justin Siravaka will try to make it a 10-point game. Snap good, hold good, and the extra point is through there. 24-14 South Dakota State. 23-yard run by Zenner, and then this one right up the middle.
And that was just a straight power run, clear it out. Defensive front not getting the job done. This South Dakota State offensive front has just done a very good job of controlling the line of scrimmage, allowing Zenner to get the yards he needs, and more importantly, allowing Sumner, who's coming back off an injury, to allow his jersey to stay clean. Because when he's dropped back, the pressure really hasn't gotten to him.
3 plays, 47 yards. They score in just 48 seconds. Well, what do you need to know about the FCS championship? Well, the most important thing is that the Bison are the 3-time defending champs. What a run it's been for them. And then we have some first-time appearances in this playoff as well.
And you're looking at the old and the new. And we actually had a game earlier with North Dakota State. They don't care that they have a new coach. The model's the same. They don't think we can get it done. We're going to get it done. But these newcomers popping in, that's great for your program because you're able to go out and recruit and say, look, we get to the championship. We get to the playoff games. You want to come be a part of our program.
Arguably the best 2 conferences represented here. South Dakota State out of the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Montana State from the Big Sky. And Coach Stiegelmeier has to be pleased with the way this is shaping up so far. They're getting the big plays, and they're controlling the running game. They're winning the battle at the line of scrimmage right now.
And that's what you have to have. We'll see if the special teams of Montana State can respond.
Johnson on the return for the Bobcats. Has some room, near side. Johnson turning the corner across the 45 and out of bounds. It's been an adventure for kick coverage today.
It clearly has. The defense, like I mentioned before, they don't know where you're going. So same thing on a return game. You have to break down a little bit more. The hard part is that once you get blocked, it's very hard to get that quick movement off the block to get to the next person when the guy coming at you can pick up some speed.
7-yard touchdown run by Zach Zenner, giving the Jackrabbits a 10-point lead. Just 2 minutes to work with now for Montana State here in the second quarter. Brewcop out of the backfield, it's Brecky. He gets to the edge, and he's run out of bounds. They're going to say he stays in bounds as he crosses midfield.
This is where they need to go that fast pace like they did the very beginning of the game. You have to get some form of points on the board. You get the ball first coming in the second half. So you'd love to get a score here so that you get the ball back, see if you can get this game close, tied up, or take the lead.
7-yard completion, 2nd and 3 at the 47. Brewcop underneath, Greibel the catch, first down and more. They have 3 timeouts to work with, and they're going to stop the clock momentarily as they move the chains. Now they'll restart it. 12-yard pass completion. First down at the 31. Blowing snow now. It's swirling here at the stadium. Brewcop pressured and incomplete.
South Dakota State normally does not blitz. Every so often they'll dial up a zone blitz, and that's exactly what they did. Watch right there coming in free. Patrick Schuster, the outside linebacker, putting that pressure, getting Dakota off his spot, not able to square his shoulders to get an effective throw.
2nd and 10. Greibel has been the go-to guy all season long. Three-receiver look. Prukop over the middle. Catch made. It's a tight end, Salanoa. And he does not get out of bounds as he's knocked down. It is a first down to the 18-yard line.
I like his thought, though. He tried to get to the sideline, knowing they want to protect those timeouts. Good play call, just a simple tight end drag. Use that pressure of that defensive front against him. The big boy gets out. I'd like to see him use a straight arm on that one, though.
They start the clock again. Still have those 3 timeouts left after that 12-yard pass play. Prukop, plenty of time. Underneath again, catch made. And running towards the sidelines is Herbert. And he is inbounds, and the clock will now be stopped with 39 seconds to go as they use their first timeout.
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, Rob Ash is going to say, son, you had Lee Perkins wide open to the right side of the field. He could have walked into the end zone and had a picnic lunch. He was that wide open. But that's what happens sometimes when the pressure's there and you're trying to go through your reads and not seeing the whole field. Plus, he got blitzed the play before, so that clock speeds up a little bit. But that's a play he's going to wish he had back.
Well, you know, we also have blowing snow here, and I'm not, you know, obviously you should be able to spot your big tight end, but the conditions are not something you see every day. This is something, even for these cold weather teams, it's tough to deal with.
It is, because it does affect the grip of the ball, how you can throw, stepping into it, all those little things. But that's why you got to watch. You got to give yourself time. You got to pay attention to detail.
2nd and 6 at the 15 for Dakota Prukop, the sophomore from Austin, Texas. Trying to get some points here before the break. And they're going to mark something off here against South Dakota State.
Defense, 12 men on the field. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Yeah, they had too many defenders on the field, and they got the penalty for that. That helps this offense out. Gets you 5 yards closer, and you didn't have to run a play.
2nd and 1 now at the 10 for the Bobcats. Newell and Johnson in the backfield. Prukop's going to run option. Pitches it to Newell, and that's an incomplete pass. That will be ruled incomplete as T.J. Lally broke it up, and they almost forced a turnover.
What a play by the inside linebacker. Look at the vision. He sees what happened, watches this play develop, comes right in and just breaks that ball up. Nice play by T.J. Lally.
Lally had 20 tackles at North Dakota State, the most in the Division I era for South Dakota State in their history. He's been all over the field this year. 3rd and 1 now. The run, the pitch again. Johnson to the sideline, keeps his footing, has a first down. It'll be a 1st and goal. He's knocked down at the 3-yard line.
And that was one that they probably wish that they gave it to Newell, because Newell walked right into the end zone. Here's the play action. Freely goes, the defense goes with Newell. Now look at the extra effort right there by Sean Johnson. They talked about he's been dealing with a hamstring injury. They weren't sure how much or if he was going to be able to play today, but he's given this team all he has.
Great effort for an undersized guy at 5'10", senior from Bakersfield, California. Sets him up 1st and goal. And the original spot was a 3, but it's actually just outside the 1-yard line. They have a timeout to work with in 24 seconds.
They sure do. And I would expect Chad Newell. Now, again, me personally, I know a lot of teams with this pistol formation. At some point, when you get down here, I like the quarterback under the center. You're on the 2-yard line. There's too many variables that can affect certain things. You know you need a score. I'd definitely line up, and I'd give the ball to Newell and just let him pound it in right now. You do have the 1 timeout if he doesn't get in, but that's what I would do.
Newell is on the field. That pistol formation, though, they're going to stick with that. Salano, the tight end in front of him. 1st and goal. Newell straight ahead, driving, no indication. They hold him up short. He's not in yet. No indication. And it's going to be 2nd down, and the clock stopped with 15 seconds to go. Bobcats use their final timeout.
They use a little bit too much, I think. And watch this as the contact happens. He gets in. You can see right there, he does not cross. South Dakota State did an excellent job on that front. Blowing it up, not getting any movement. We talked about earlier, you're looking at there right there. Gottlieb, number 98, standing things up. Can't say enough about the South Dakota State offensive defensive front. They've been playing well this first half, making Montana State work extra hard because they seem to play on their side of the ball.
John Stiegelmeier, the South Dakota State coach, said, look, we have effort, guys. No all-conference picks. They just play their tails off. Now, this is risky here if Montana State wants to run it again with 15 seconds and no timeouts.
This is where you call 2 plays. You get them up to the line quickly if you're going to do it. Personally, quarterback sneak. Get under center, nudge, push forward. You get the score.
Joel Horn, the junior center, a 295-pounder in front of Prukop. Second and goal, 15 seconds. They're going to go from that pistol again with Newell behind Prukop. Going to throw it for the corner. Caught. Touchdown, Mitchell Herbert. They cross him up with a pass play and a big score before the break.
The big 6'4", 205 freshman on a fade route. Good throw. Throw it to the outside. Defender does not have a chance. First, he's not as tall as receiver, but when the quarterback puts that outside with so much field to work with, if it's a good throw, there's nothing else you can do.
Freshman out of Eugene, Oregon with a big grab, his 4th of the season, and the extra point is blocked. Dally has his PAT blocked, and it's a 24-20 game. So a couple miscues in the kicking game, and it's a 4-point game.
Special teams battle. South Dakota State is winning it. They are definitely dominating. That is the second missed extra point. This one was a block. Get the hand up there. It never had a chance. I think even if it didn't get blocked, that ball did not have a chance. Defense does smartly to get the ball out. You'll probably see a nice little squib kick through the snow and to see if they can just pin him back, not to give them a big play, because I don't think South Dakota State will take a shot at the end zone even if they have one play.
That was an important drive. 9 plays, 55 yards, and they got it done in just 2 minutes. I mean, to be able to get points before the break, get a little momentum back, it's made this a very interesting game. South Dakota State had a chance up 17-6 to create a little space here in a tough weather environment.
They surely did. Got to give it up for Montana State. Defense stepping up finally to make a few plays, not to allow that to happen, and then the offense responding to it by getting the points on the board.
And you go to that fade route to Herbert to draw him within 4. Dalley's going to squib it up the middle of the field. It's covered there by Mitch Vovoda. And the Jackrabbits will likely take a knee here and go into halftime with the lead.
That'd be the smart thing. There's no logical way of wanting to take that shot. Your defense is playing pretty well. Your offense has been efficient.
Yeah, just what we thought, right? 44 points in the first half in conditions like this.
Oh, yeah.
You never know, do you?
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Adverse, snowy conditions here in Bozeman. The temperature gauge reading 3 last time we checked. We'll update you on the course of that as the day wears on. And the FCS brackets, halftime, good first half of football.
Definitely a great first half of football. Both coaches are going to have a lot of things to talk about at halftime. We'll see what team makes the best adjustments to have a very exciting second half.
First round play, and the Jackrabbits, the 4-point advantage. Halftime coming up for Bozeman. Welcome back to the NCAA FCS Championship, brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. Getting ready for the start of the third quarter here at Bobcat Stadium in Bozeman, Montana. 24-20 lead for South Dakota State and Coach John Stiegelmiller in his 18th season at the helm. 3rd straight FCS playoff trip, and hoping this is the year that is magical, where they can maybe make a run at getting to Frisco, Texas, from a powerful conference, the Missouri Valley. His team, hard to point at a lot of negatives with the way they've approached this game and the way they played. What can they do to improve what's happened thus far?
Well, there's not much they need to improve on except to continue their execution. You think about it offensively, they're doing just about everything that they want to do. They're running the ball effectively when they need to pass. They're able to do that. They have converted on some third downs more than Montana State does. But more importantly, they've been winning the special teams battle, which I think is what's led to this explosion of points for them. I think when he went in, he told him, hey, we just got to play sound. Now, you look at the other side of Montana State, there's a lot that they had to discuss. They had to go in and say, hey, guys, we got to tackle better. We got to take better lanes. More importantly, guys, we got to win on first down. We're not winning on first down defensively or offensively, especially on the front line. And I think that's where the telltale is going to be.
The one thing the Bobcats have done better is they're taking care of the football. They had 7 turnovers in their loss at Montana in their final game. None so far in these conditions. That's encouraging. They've kept themselves in the game. They haven't shot themselves in the foot.
That's true. And you got to think if Dakota was 100%, it might be a little bit different because he would have a little bit more movement. That being said, these ground conditions, it isn't like you can just stick that foot in the ground and just take off like a jackrabbit or something like that. It just doesn't happen that way. You have to really ginger your feet. And anybody who lives in cold weather, you know, when you walk, you see snow, you see ice, you don't go quickly, you kind of go slow. And so that's what happened. And I think both these offenses are taking advantage of that against the defense, knowing the defense has to break down. You make it a little easy when you just run a simple dive up the middle without any play action to it. But if you start to add some elements where you move, you got tight ends, receivers coming in motion, then that's going to make that defense move a little more to open those seams. And we saw South Dakota State use that religiously in the first half. We'll see if they come back to it the second half.
During our halftime break, I had a chance to overhear some of the coaches from both sides here behind us, and they're concerned on kick coverage because you try to break down and you can't get set, kind of like cornerbacks. It's tough to tackle.
Right.
Every kick return's an adventure.
And it is, and that's what we talked about earlier when I mentioned the fact that as a defender on the kick coverage, you're coming down. As soon as somebody initiates a block with you, it's hard for you to get off and have a burst to try to get that return guy because you can't put your foot down and take off so quickly. You might slip and fall, and that's that. So I think me personally with the kicking game, I would start squib kicking it. I would kick it, make it bobble down the middle, so my guys at least have a better opportunity to get closer downfield to break down. And I would tell them, I don't want you coming in full bore. I want you coming in controlled, watch your feet, keep your hands, keep them off.
I'd like to keep it away from this guy, Sean Johnson, an All-American return specialist a year ago. One of the best in the country in the kick return game as Justin Siravaka has it teed up. We're ready for the second half in Bozeman. Winner gets North Dakota State, the 3-time defending FCS champs, next weekend in Fargo. Siravaka from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. There's a little pooch kick and a fair catch called by Greibel, and he'll make it at the 35-yard line. That's one way to do it as well.
It is, and smart play to fair catch that. You know you're not going to have the protection in front of you. A turnover could happen because of something like that. Great smart play to just fair catch that and start on great field position.
Well, the Bobcats have to feel better about their chances after that drive right before the break. They mixed the run and pass pretty well.
They surely did, and they got to keep that going. It's important. I think you need to use these tight ends a little bit more and those dragging routes across the field. Use the misdirection. You'll see a lot of underneath open and then let them run.
Brewcop, numbers so far, not playing at 100%, maybe 90% with an MCL sprain. He sets up the screen to the running back Newell and short yardage to the 37-yard line. That was Jesse Bobbitt, who's been active at linebacker.
One of those type plays, the defense does a good job. They play predominantly zone. They don't like to let you get behind them. Outside of that first pass in the first quarter, they haven't had any more long plays. So you have to take what the defense gives you, and they're flying up to the ball.
Johnson is back in at running back, replacing Newell now on 2nd and 9. It'll be a run by Johnson to the outside, and he's run out of bounds. Good pursuit that time. Nothing available to the outside. Dallas Brown on the tackle.
Yeah, and that's a nice stretch out run. You don't give up much. What's good for Montana State, now you're 3rd and 5. Most of that first half, they were 3rd and 10 and plus. You can do so much more with your playbook when you're 3rd and 5 or less.
Newell is back in at running back. They're 3 for 6 on 3rd down today. Brown was showing blitz. Now he backs off. Now he's inching towards the line of scrimmage, and he's coming. Brewcop flushed out of there, in trouble, escapes the tackler, and then he slides and has the first down. He looked like he had more room to run, but he does have a first down near midfield.
Yeah, and watch him walk back to the huddle. Watch the gimp in his leg. See that left leg? I think he's smart. He possibly could have kept running, but he knows he's limited and he needs to be on the field. So what does he do? He runs enough for the first down, goes down. Smart play by the quarterback.
Well, it's too bad he's not 100%. One of the top dual threat guys in the game. 2,200 passing yards, 900 rushing this year, but just trying to gut this one out here. First down from the 46. Throws it to the sideline, incomplete, through the hands of Greibel.
That was just not a very good play call on that one. See, watch the situation. Blitz comes up, good pickup. I know now he's running, wants to throw it, nothing's there. It goes, and he sees it coming. I'm just going to go down. He understands some funky tackle could hurt his leg. The team needs it. And I think that speaks to the maturity level of this junior quarterback.
Well, they wanted to
sophomore quarterback.
There was a question whether they'd use Jake Bleskin. He has a shoulder injury suffered against Montana. Prukop gutting it out here. They also have McQuarrie, a freshman, but Prukop battling, throwing now, and incomplete. Intended receiver was Jayshon Gates. That's a tough play to make moving to your left again.
Exactly, and that's where they got in trouble. So think about it. The first down play, I didn't think that was a very good call. Incomplete. Second down play, pressure comes. Now you're back to 3rd and 10, the thing that got you in trouble the first half. So offensively, they got to call some better plays, more dragging routes, get more guys out in the open. But this South Dakota State defense, they are playing very well this game.
That was Melvin Tavares, the free safety. Butler's been active from his cornerback position. And they'll have their ears pinned back here. 3rd and 10. They're going to rush 4. They lay off the pressure. Prukop throws it far sideline. Greibel, a diving attempt, and he's got it. Great catch, far side of the field. Greibel hauls it in to move the chains.
Nice catch. They know they're going against zone. They match protect, get enough bodies up there, steps in, puts that ball outside. That's just impossible for a defender to cover. Good conversion for a first down on 3rd and 10 nonetheless.
14-yard catch. The ball now at the Jackrabbits 40-yard line. 2 running backs now, Johnson and Newell, and in motion, Brecky now in the backfield. Handoff, fake handoff. They're going to pitch it to Johnson on the edge. Johnson breaks a tackle, has a first down, and Johnson drives tacklers inside the 25-yard line. He is the one guy on this offense that can change the course of this game with his ability in the open field.
Coach Ash said they were hoping he came back off this hamstring injury because they need him. And you're going to see once he gets the ball out in space, he's able to make people miss, but he still has some power to drive. But it's that elusiveness and that speed is what they really covet here because it's very explosive. And we've seen already in the first half what he's able to do when he runs up the sidelines.
17-yard pickup. He had 374 yards, school record all-purpose against Eastern Washington this year. First down at the 24. Fake this time to Johnson. Prukop now will throw to Johnson. Diving effort. He's out of bounds. Went high to get it, but could not get the feet down.
Could not, and he had room over here to the left to go to. But when you do that out and up for the running back on the short side of the field, there really isn't a lot of room for the quarterback to work with. If they'd done that play to the wide side, there would have been plenty more room. But he had somebody open the flat. He needs to make sure he uses his field. Don't always just tie into one receiver. Spread it around a little bit.
2nd and 10, just underway, 3rd quarter. South Dakota State and Montana State, playoff teams each of the last 3 years. Prukop delayed handoff to Newell, and that's shut down. That was Jack Sherlock, the defensive end, the 5th-year senior. Now, on a delayed handoff, does that work in these conditions? That's a surprising call.
It does not, especially like we talked about, the offensive line hasn't been winning the battles. So that defensive front just shot in there. They know they got coverage behind. Now you're 3rd and long again. This is 4-down territory. So if I'm Montana State, I just want to get myself 7-8 yards and leave myself 4th and manageable.
And they're well out of field goal range here. We've talked about the conditions, how tough it will be to kick a field goal. Here they are now from the 27. Prukop. Johnson's got it, and he has a first down as he slides with the catch to the 12-yard line.
2 third-down conversions on this drive of 10+. This is what this offense may need to do if they keep losing those 1st and 2nd down battles. But that is a huge play, and who makes it again Nobody but Sean Johnson.
15-yard pickup. Johnson had 14 catches for 226 yards prior to this playoff game. He's a threat, doing a lot of things, a lot of versatility out of the backfield.
And this drive's more methodical. You notice that when they came out in the first half, they went bam, bam, bam. This one is a lot slower.
From the 12, handoff. Newell has a seam, left side. He's to the 5. Newell in. Touchdown, Bobcats.
Big run by Chad Newell, the 6'1", 220-pound sophomore. Just bucking it up, and just watch this at the tail end of this play. He's bucking, pushing around, and who comes in? John Winterover. I know I'm messing that name up, but he did a great job. And we got, because of the two-point conversion, they didn't get it, but they needed that play because of the missing the extra point, wanted to force 3. What a play. You're going to see again, Newell getting it done, getting his team back in it. They're up by 2, making the team pay, getting the ball first in the second half.
26-24, Montana State has the lead for the first time after Chad Newell's 3rd touchdown run. They fail on the conversion, and it's a 2-point game as Luke Dowley kicks it away for the Bobcats. Wesley returning it for South Dakota State, and he's knocked down at the 32-yard line. Strange end to that drive as they had a 2-point lead. Here's the conversion try. High snap.
That's exactly the problem. High snap. Because of that, at least everybody got out quicker this time on the busted play, but there wasn't much that could be done on that. They're seriously having a problem with that. And for what we see, they may have to go away from that and just go for 2-point conversions if they're not able to get the ball off correctly.
Rocky Hogue, the long snapper, having a tough time. A couple bad snaps, also a blocked extra point in the kicking game for the Bobcats. Still, they have the lead. Sumner going deep and incomplete on the far sideline. He was looking for his top target, Jake Winicky, on that one.
Good protection. Quarterback does have all day. Look at the pace now. They're picking it up, trying to get something going.
First possession, 3rd quarter for South Dakota State. Sumner, the flat, catch made by Trevor Wesley. Makes a man miss, and he's out of bounds after a 5-yard pickup near the 40-yard line.
Bryson Keaton did a great job of just going through the receiver, knocking him down, forcing that to where it wouldn't have been a first down because he could have had all day to run on that play.
3rd and 4 at the 40 for the Jackrabbits, trailing for the first time. Zenner, right side, breaks a tackle, look out. Zenner puts on the speed, he's gone. Touchdown, South Dakota State. He does it again. They're back in front. 60 yards. They're up 30-26.
South Dakota State keeps finding a way to respond. You're going to see 3rd and 5. Get it to your big back. Zenner gets it again. Poor angle. Look at Kerry Garcia. He sized up to make sure he couldn't cut back in, but he didn't get close enough. Too much room. You got to use that sideline and an extra defender. He didn't close that gap. Big play. We're seeing why Zach Zenner is who they say he is, because the kid can do it all.
31 career games over the century mark for Zenner. He's approaching 200. He's done that 7 times in his career. 3 plays, 66 yards. Now they'll go for 2 here. The conditions are that bad, I think, for kickers. That's part of the reasoning here. Empty set, and flags are thrown. They're going to blow this play dead.
Delay of game, offense, 5-yard penalty. We still have a try.
Now, do you rethink it because of the field position here?
It makes it more difficult, but I would still go for it. I mean, you're up by 4, and only puts you up by 7, or 6, I should say, if they were to get the 2-point conversion.
Now they're going to bring their kicker out there, Jay. Justin Sirivaka. There are a couple schools of thought here. If you were to get the 2, you'd go up by 2 field goals. But they're going to try to make it a 5-point game here with Sirivaka. Snap is good. And so is the kick. So they extend their lead to 5. Sack center. 3 rushing touchdowns and a touchdown reception. Jackrabbits back in front. 31-26, South Dakota State. They trailed for the first time, but a drive putting them back in front as John Stiegel-Miller looking for his 9th win this season. Some miscues have been costly in the kicking game for Montana State in this one.
They sure have, and that's what's hurting this team. You can see the bobble snap for the first touchdown that would have tied the game, and then the second time gets blocked, which is just inexcusable. And then the third one, the snap was high again. I think at this point, Coach Ash might be thinking to himself, we're just going to line up and go for 2-point conversions nonstop.
We knew it would be an adventure in the kicking game. His team, though, within 5. A short kick fielded by Johnson, trying to get a wall in front of him, and he's going in the wrong direction. Johnson's just going to have to run out of bounds. That was not a wise choice. He gave up about 15 yards of field position trying to get to the wide side of the field.
Sure did, and that's one of those plays. You take what's in front of you. If you can't get anything more, you just go down. You know what the turf conditions are, and so that's a situation where you just hurt your team. You just set yourself back. You know this defense has played you tough. You've had a couple of good drives, but you don't want to give them an added advantage of making you have to go longer.
So each team with touchdown drives to open up the third quarter, and the Bobcats starting their second series here from the 11-yard line. Newell shuffles in motion. They'll fake it to him. Prukop downfield has a man. It's Page. Did he get there? Yes, the catch made at the 45. Justin Page lays out, and the freshman from Katy, Texas hauls it in.
What a gutsy call and play. Throwing the ball into the wind. Look at him lay out. Nestle that thing, cuddle it like it's a little baby, and tucks it away. What a huge first down play to get yourself back into positive territory.
36-yard pickup. He battled an ankle injury late in the regular season. Looked pretty good on that catch as they get a little field position after that play. Prukop again. Herbert this time. Oh, one-handed grab. What a catch inside the 20-yard line. And a flag is thrown as well before the catch.
I was wondering, that's definitely pass interference by the defender. It looked like to me because he never turned his head around.
Pass interference. Defense, number 22. That penalty is declined. The results of the play is the first down.
And the reason that was a one-handed catch is because of that. And just look at this great play. Never turns around, puts his hand out. We saw a great catch in the New York Giants game. This doesn't marvel as close to that, but for this game, that's a huge catch.
And that's a SportsCenter top 10 nominee if I've ever seen one. Jerian Butler was on the coverage. Here's Prukop trying to run wide and nothing doing. He is shut down by Lally at the line of scrimmage. 36-yard pass play, then a 33-yard hookup, and all of a sudden the Bobcats are making plays here in the third quarter.
And that's what's so tough about the fact that Dakota can't use his legs like he normally does. It takes a piece away from the offense. And we can just imagine if he was able to be his 100% self, how much more explosive this offense can be. But you can see, it only takes him a few plays. They start to snap him off.
Yeah, 932 yards rushing this season for Prukop. They're playing with an MCL sprain. He's going to run it, and again, just not a lot of burst. Gets a yard inside the 20-yard line.
That wasn't necessarily a very good call again, I think. They got to really help their quarterback out. You need to do some misdirection. I really thought they were effective when they did the crossing drag routes with the tight ends and receivers. Because of how the footing is, it's an advantage for the offense because you can run away from defenders and it gives you more open space to throw the ball.
3rd and 9 as we hit the 8-minute mark, third quarter. Brecky in motion. Prukop setting up the screen. Newell breaks the tackle and shut down. That was a well-designed play, but you've got to credit the Jackrabbits defense. They stayed right with it.
I'll tell you who exactly you credit is 43, Austin LeBlanc. Watch Austin LeBlanc come off of this. He reads it. He says, oh, wait a minute, I got too free of a release. He hustles back, and he gets this big wrap-up that slows that play down and allows the rest of the defense to get there.
There's a flag as well, Jay, on the far side of the field in front of the Bobcats bench over there. So hang on.
Personal foul. Offense number 75. The player continued to block out of bounds. 15 yards from the end of the run. Playing third down.
That's J.P. Flynn, the first-team All-Big Sky guard, guilty there.
You got to be smarter than that in this type of situation. You know you're not kicking a field goal. You know you're going for it on fourth down. You can't give your team a costly penalty blocking somebody out of bounds.
Yeah,
clearly
away from the play.
Away from the play. You just don't do that.
Well, now it's fourth down, and they need 20. Football at the 30-yard line. Another option would have been to punt it here, but they're going to give it a shot here on 4th and 20. Prukop rolling left, trying to get his feet set. Throws, it's not going to get it done. It's caught by Greibel, well short of the first down. And the Jackrabbits will take over on downs.
That play didn't make much sense. I would have pooch punched it, you know, just to see if you could just pin him back anywhere farther. That puts his defense out here.
And the snow is really starting to become a factor here in the pass game. 7:13 to go, third quarter, a 5-point game. A winter wonderland here in Bozeman. 3 degrees now. South Dakota State leading by 5, 31-26 midway through the third quarter. Jackrabbits have the football, taking over on downs from their own 24. Sumner to throw it. Has a man. It's hauled in by Jason Schneider. The senior has a first down. The 2014 NCAA FCS Championship continues next weekend. Second round games on December 6th. All games will be on the Watch ESPN app and ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, the official online home for all 89 NCAA championships. Sumner to the air, far side, Wesley with the catch. And he's run out of bounds, close to a first down. Tell you what, Trevor Wesley, the junior, has had a really big game, number 80.
And his receiver,
he's shaking up now.
Yeah, his fellow receiver helped him out with a good block, but you can see he's grabbing his leg. Not sure if he came down hard or if he's cramping. Looks like he might be cramping.
In these conditions, at 3 degrees, it can still happen.
And people don't realize dehydration is dehydration. You need to drink water when you're hot. You need to drink water when you're cold. And clearly he didn't get enough water in his system last night, because that's the thing people don't realize. You can't just start drinking the day of and expect to be hydrated. You got to hydrate yourself the night before.
And high elevation plays into that as well here in Bozeman. The high elevation, but Wesley really has been big in the return game and as a receiver. And he made an 8-yard reception right there.
This drive is, I know we still got plenty of time, but it's instrumental, I think, in the game, mainly because Montana State has shown that they just have a hard time stopping South Dakota State. And every time Montana State does drive down the score, South Dakota State responds back with a score quickly. So I think it's important for this defense to find a way to get off the field right now to see if they can get the offense back on. Well, because as this game progresses, we're going to see number 31, Zach Zenner, continue to tear it up. Because if you think about it right now, he's sitting at 15 carries for 156 yards, 10.4-yard average.
Look at these drives. Now, this is one of the top teams in FCS in time of possession, but they've done it with a quick strike ability today. That's been a big story. And finding ways to get to the end zone, that's the main thing. Second down and a couple. From the 46. Sumner, pressure, goes down. A sack. That was Alex Singleton, the All-American, with a big play.
Bringing some blitz pressure. Singleton coming from his weak side linebacker position. top of your screen, just crashes down, gets around the block, grabs them legs, good tackle. Sets up 3rd and 7. That's what this defense needed. The crowd's starting to get up into it. Let's see if South Dakota State responds.
Singleton, one of the best defensive players in the country, putting him in a tough spot here from the 41. Pressure coming, setting up the screen. It's center, breaks a tackle, can't keep his footing. Nice play by Deontay Flowers. He doesn't make that tackle, he might go the distance.
He's going the distance if he doesn't make that tackle, but you see what the weather conditions can do. He couldn't really stick his foot down. They brought the pressure up the gap. Good call against the pressure, but you can see right there, because of this weather, he couldn't really stick that foot in and explode upfield like he normally would. That helped the defender make that tackle.
Flowers, a senior from San Diego, a little bit different weather there than what we're seeing here. Big flakes now coming down with a temperature at 3 degrees, and it is really changing how this game is being played even more so here in the second half. The kick from Ethan Sawyer, a good one in the conditions. Johnson will make a fair catch at the 12-yard line. I mean, you can't ignore the weather anymore. I know the offenses have played well, the teams have taken care of the football, but this appears to be changing the way they want to approach the game now. And you would say normally, you know, you're not going to find great kickers from this part of the country. Au contraire, Jan Stenerud, one of the greatest of all time, a Bobcat.
Well, I tell you what, you learn to kick in this type of weather, you can kick anywhere, all right? And I think you look at his career, this is a guy that just understood. Well, it's funny. How did he come to school here?
Ski jumper. Ski jumper scholarship. And he said, you know what, I see that guy kicking on the field. I want to try that. And the rest is history, a Hall of Fame career for Jan Stenerud. And you've got to be able to kick in tough conditions. And he was the best at doing that. Bobcats with the football now. Prukop on a play fake, dumps it off. It's a tight end, Salanoa, breaks a tackle, and he is close to a first down. Salanoa is a big kid at 6'3" and 264.
And they need to do that play more. They need to drag these guys across the field to allow them to find the open zones. Help your quarterback out. You can see he wanted to go deep, nothing was there. And then here's the release across the middle, gets the ball out, let them make plays. As this condition gets worse, the advantage works more towards the offense because the defense is going to have to break down more and more.
10-yard pickup to the 25-yard line as we near the end of this third quarter, 31-26. South Dakota State, they led 17-6 early going. It's been a battle since that point. Handoff, straight ahead. And they go to the run game with Newell, who has 3 touchdowns rushing and a nice gain on first down.
That's what they need to get themselves going. This wind's picking up. I can promise you there's going to be no field goal attempt going into this wind towards this direction. You look at the field, that blustering snow is starting to come in more. The better you can get on first down, getting yourself 4 or 5 yards, the easier the drive gets.
They give Newell 4 on that last carry. 2nd and 6 at the 39. Play fake. Prukop had it blocked at the line of scrimmage. Somebody got a hand up there to knock it down.
Newell is standing very close to the line of scrimmage. He's not really backing up. He just stands right there. And that was a nice block.
Cole Langer got it.
Langer getting his hand up there. You got a quarterback that's very mobile that can't really move. So it makes it easy for a defense, a lineman, to understand, I know where he's at. No rule of thumb, if I can't get there, get my hands up.
Langer's grandpa, Hall of Famer Jim Langer, the great Miami Dolphins center. They're 4 of 8 on third downs. The Bobcats, 3rd and 6. Prukop, incomplete. Wanted Herbert, and the throw was low near the 40-yard line. They'll have to punt the football.
Dakota was staring the whole way. He didn't even look anywhere else on the field. Watch his head. He's just looking left. Gives the defense an easy tee off. That's a tough throw on top of that. You have to go through your progressions. You need to move a little bit more left to right. You can't allow this defense, which plays very sound, the opportunity to do that.
Jay, I've never seen snow like this. We've been at some cold weather games in the past, you and me, but this is something else. And there's still a lot of football left to be played late third quarter. Every kick situation could be a disaster, and there's Bolton with a pretty good effort with a end-over-end kick, fielded by Butler. Butler trying to get to the outside. Gets a block, and finally will just run out of bounds as a flag is thrown, and he's out of bounds at the 43-yard line.
Usually if you see that on the return game, usually it's a holding type situation. That makes it tough. You mentioned it, Trey. These conditions will affect, as it continues, the game, because the kicks are starting to dribble. The ball's going to get harder. The footings gets tougher. You see people trying to at least put the lines out.
The grounds crew's done a great job. They're trying the best they can.
There were 2 fouls on the play by the receiving team. There was a hold. Receiving team, number 22, that penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back. Receiving team, number 22, that penalty is accepted. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, first down.
And these are MEAC officials, by the way. Andre Lowe, our lead referee, dealing with the elements. They're used to the balmy conditions. Far from that here.
Yeah, and that makes it a little tough, because I don't know how you can be the returner and hold somebody at the same time. It's cold out there. It's affecting the thought waves. You know, it's hard to see.
From the 41, Zenner, already a huge game, puts his head down. That's a first down. Tell you what, Coach Stiegelmeier said, for our druthers, we'd run it 80 times a game with Zenner. This might be the time to just let him take it the rest of the way.
I think so, because and you look at the tempo, the pace, they're going to try to weigh on them and just put another score on the board to open it up. They see the offense from Montana State struggling.
11-yard pickup. Here's Zenner again. Right side, hit at the line of scrimmage and dropped. Maybe a yard, and that's it. Good play that time by Singleton, and he got some help from Na'amoe Akiola, the Mike linebacker.
Coming in there, cleaning it up. But that's what's so important about this drive. Like I mentioned last time, the defense came up with some plays. The offense got there, didn't do anything. Defense has to find a way to knuckle down. At this point in time in the game, it's going to be won by how these defenses are able to contain the offense.
No gain. Zenner, left side, has some room, puts his head down off tackle, and he picks up 6 yards, maybe close to midfield.
And we talked about it time and time again, winning the line of scrimmage. They beat them the first time, forcing a second and long, but did you see that offensive line blocking on that play? He was 4 or 5 yards downfield before he even got touched. If Zenner's able to do that, that's going to be tough on this Montana State defense. That's
the Wisconsin kids, Cyberling, Sider, and Onasorgi on that left side, creating a little bit of space. 3rd and 6. 3 receivers, bottom of the screen. They stick with that shotgun snap. Movement, and they're going to back up the Jackrabbits.
False start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Thank the crowd. I think Montana State was dialing up a blitz, making that offensive line a little jittery, not sure where or who was coming from. Now, can they make them pay for that penalty? Can they get them off the field, give your offense a chance? We'll have to see.
There was Andrew Mueller, the 5th-year senior from Peculiar, Missouri. Now it's a 3rd and 9. Moving around a lot on defense, giving him different looks. Sumner gonna tuck it, and he just goes down. Didn't want to make nothing of a play into a bad play, and he slides down after a short gain, and they'll bring the punt team out there.
Both these quarterbacks are smart. Sumner himself is coming back off an injury. He knows, you know what, I need to be on the field. I'm not going to get that first down. Go down, live to do another play. Our defense is playing great. We're going to make Montana State work for everything.
How big is the lead here at this juncture with these conditions? They're up 5 as we approach 1 minute to go, 3rd quarter. It's 24-20 at halftime, and this game has grinded to almost a halt because of the snowy conditions. Sawyer with the kick, and it's Johnson on the return. And he's shut down after a short return. 17-yard line is where the Bobcats will start this series. Now this we thought would be one of the better matchups in the FCS first round. As we look at the brackets, the winner advances to Fargo to take on the three-time defending FCS champions North Dakota State. But Sam Houston State advancing. They have been always good, year in, year out.
Right, and people don't realize before North Dakota State went on that 3-0 run, Sam Houston State kind of won a couple of those titles before that. They actually played against North Dakota State in a couple of those title games. That's a program that's used to being on top, and you're going to have to make them go away. They won't go away on their own.
Look at the snow now on Rob Ash. He's seen some cold weather games, and this is one of the snowier games you'll see here in Bozeman as they run off the left side with Brecky for a short game.
Now, you mentioned, Trey, does the weather getting worse affect how this game's going to be? Will a 5-point lead be enough? It could be as the game progresses. And we keep going this route because you start watching teams, you know, coaches get a little conservative on their play calling when things like this happen as well. They want to create something bad. So if the coaches start to do that, the players start to play a little conservative, it'll adjust the game.
1 yard pickup by Brecky. Prukop looking to throw it. Airs it out, looking for Greibel, and he can't come up with it. Coverage by Butler. That's a tough play to make in good conditions on the near side.
Right, because this secondary for South Dakota State, they're sitting back. They're not biting on the stuff up top. So you got two safeties sitting on top. That would have to be, like you say, a perfect throw, and there's no way that he was going to be able to come down with that inside.
3rd and 9 now. This is the highest scoring season in school history for Montana State, averaging 38 points per game. But the elements can affect all of the great teams, and it's become a factor here in the third quarter. 3rd and 9. Prukop setting up the screen. Johnson. And they hem him in. They do a nice job gang tackling there. It's 4th down.
Definitely it's 4th down, and it's one of those situations like we talked about. Coaches are going to start to get conservative. You can't take chances. You need to protect the ball, play the field position.
The teams trade touchdowns in the third quarter. It was a 24-20 lead for the Jackrabbits. Newell with 3 touchdown runs, giving Montana State the lead. But the Jackrabbits bounce back. They have the lead with 1 quarter to go here in Bozeman. The NCAA FCS Football Championship is brought to you by Northwestern Mutual. A snowy scene in Bozeman as we go to the 4th quarter. Winner gets North Dakota State in the 2nd round of the FCS playoffs, and it's been a battle with the Jackrabbits leading by 5, forcing the punt for Montana State here. Should get excellent field position. Trevor Bolton, the left footer, end over end, and the Jackrabbits Butler will stay away from it, and it takes a good roll. And that backs them up all the way near the 20-yard line. 173 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns for Zach Zenner, also a touchdown catch. Let's take a look at what's happening elsewhere in the FCS championship. How about Montana, huh?
Montana's just putting them on them up there, and I think they don't have any snow.
Hard to believe. 200 miles from here, and the weather is different in Missoula than Bozeman.
Yeah, I mean, look at Fordham there getting in Indiana State. I mean, these are teams that really fought hard towards the end of their season to put them wins up to get selected.
Montana, Mick Dennehy in his final season as head coach. They'll have a new coach next season. Proud tradition there in Missoula. They'll stick with the ground game. South Dakota State goes to Zenner again, and he's approaching 200 yards on the ground in these conditions. What an effort.
Yeah, he is getting up and limping a little bit. You can see him, no sleeves on. Just the epitome of the heart and soul of this team. I'm sure we'll see him back on the field.
7 yards on that carry. There's the updated numbers. Also the touchdown catch. Missouri Valley career record holder in rushing and all-purpose yardage. Sumner to throw it. Connor Landberg with the catch, and he has a first down. He broke a tackle, and the yards after catch stand out there.
Yep, you're looking at Bryson Keaton, number 3, came up hard. You gotta break down. He did not break down. Watch as he comes up flying in there. You gotta break down. He doesn't break down. And there you go. He breaks free. That's a good size receiver, so you got to be able to wrap up.
Hey, that's the Laguna Hills, California guy. Who says those guys from the Sun Belt aren't tough kids playing in these conditions? They go far sideline, and this is Wesley, who's from Arizona, and he's dropped for a loss. Coming up to make that play was Kahari Garcia, the nickel.
Now that was a good form-up tackle. You came up, you break down, and then you're able to run through the receiver. That is how you need to tackle in these weather conditions.
Redshirt freshman from Covina, California. You know, both of these coaches talked about, hey, we've got tough-minded guys. We don't care where they're from. They'll battle in these conditions. They're doing that today.
Yeah, they said they kind of snivel a little bit as they get here, but somehow he says they come out, they don't wear sleeves, they just deal with it.
2nd and 12, and we have some movement on the right side for the Jackrabbits.
Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
It's Trevor Greger, the right tackle.
The big boys trying to get on out of their crowd, getting everybody amped up. You got to be smart. South Dakota State did a really good job not having penalties and those type of things of hurting themselves on their drives. This second half, they've had a couple of penalties that kind of set themselves back a little bit.
Are these the toughest fans in America? We've always seen out there in these conditions. They've been awesome. There's Sumner, and a catch made by Jake Winicky, and they get some of that yardage back as he's out of bounds to the 48.
And what we're seeing, what people at home need to understand, Montana State plays a lot of man or quarter zone. So either man or quarter zone. So a lot of that underneath stuff is what's been open versus South Dakota State. They play a lot of zone. So they haven't had the time to get to those zones and get open.
With 4 of 9, that was a 9-yard pickup. Now looking at a 3rd down and 7. Just shy of midfield. Trying to keep the ball with the lead. Sumner to the sideline, and the catch is made for a 1st down. Jake Winicky, the redshirt freshman, a difference maker. They call him a guy that's ahead of his time as a freshman.
Now Deontay Flowers is the corner in coverage. Turn your head around. Watch this. He's right there. He never turns to see. He gets beat. If he turns his head to the outside, he might have knocked that ball out.
1st down at the 32-yard line now for the Jackrabbits. They get a touchdown here. They're putting themselves on the edge of maybe putting this game away. That was a 19-yard catch. Sumner to the sideline, almost picked off. Deontay Flowers had a read on it.
You're not going to get too many opportunities like that. That was a play that Flowers wishes he could have back. You give up the catch, you get a good break on the ball in this kind of condition to get that type of drive up on it, and he just needed to get 2 hands on it. But that's what they also say why you play DBs, is because your hands aren't as good as being a receiver. So, but that's one he wishes he could have back.
He had a pick 6 at UC Davis this year. That would have put him in front. Mangarelli, nothing doing. Shut down by Singleton. Alex Singleton has been sensational. 3-year starter.
Now that was a great tackle. An open space. They're trying to do what they did earlier, using that cutback, get that momentum. He does a good job of holding his spot, forcing that runner to want to go back inside and wrapping him up. Now guess who's back in the game? Zach Zinner. 3rd and long. Watch out for the corner routes.
There's the numbers on Singleton so far. A rare 3rd and long situation for South Dakota State. They haven't been in a lot of these. Pressure coming. Sumner wants Schneider. He's got him. He hauls it in for a 1st down. What a catch inside the 15.
When you play DB and you're man-to-man on blitz coverage, you have to take something away, but you need to be able to look back at the ball. You're going to see blitz comes in, gets the ball out, watch the DB. He never turns back. He gets beat right off the start. You're going to come up and bump and run a guy. You got to reroute him. He didn't do that, and it allowed the catch. And I thought that was a good blitz call. But Coach Ash said, we're going to count on our DBs. They got to make some plays.
2-time all-conference pick with a big grab. They'll run it now with Zenner straight ahead, and Odin Coe is there to shut him down after a 1-yard gain to the 10-yard line. Approaching 10 minutes to go in this one. a touchdown here would really put the Bobcats in a tough spot.
They would, and the wind has died down. So for a field goal attempt, it might be easier going in this side versus the first 3 quarters where the wind was blowing into it. This offense, like you said, though, they'd like to get it in. Run the clock, run the ball, put 7 on the board.
Pistol look. Sumner, the 5th-year senior, in front of the 5th-year senior center. Sumner to throw it. And it is caught for the touchdown. Connor Landberg in the far corner in front of the pylon, and a huge score for the Jackrabbits to extend the lead.
Watch how this corner route opens up. Wide side of the field. He just puts it out there, allows him to run underneath the ball. Nice, tucks it away, plenty of distance. He actually slides for a good 6-7 yards. That's a beauty, I guess, of snow. So his knees are definitely in, and just making sure that he held on to the ball, which he did. That is a catch. That is a touchdown. It looks like they're going to go for 2.
They're up 11 here, and again, every conversion attempt is a mystery. It's tough in these conditions. They'll try to make it a 13-point game. Play fake. Sumner rolls away from pressure. Still rolling. Now he's going to throw it, and it is incomplete, intended for Winnicky.
Kept himself alive, allowed that play to develop, gave his guys a chance, but we still have a great game going on here. Great drive. We'll see if Montana State can come back to answer.
A winter wonderland here in Bozeman, Montana. It's continued to snow throughout the day. Temperature around 3 degrees. A 37-26 South Dakota State lead, though, as they get a huge touchdown catch from Connor Landberg, a sophomore, his first touchdown grab of the year, to extend the lead here. And the Jackrabbits looking good on the road, trying to advance to the second round. There's a kick that goes out of bounds, though, from Justin Sirivaka. And last thing you want to do in special teams is setting up a team with good field position.
Exactly.
Free kick out of bounds. On the kicking team, 5-yard penalty, we will re-kick.
We're going to make them re-kick it instead of taking the football out at the 35-yard line.
Well, that's an interesting call. I guess you have that option. And you want to force them to make it do it instead of taking the ball on the 35. Maybe they're hoping for a return for a touchdown.
Well, we've seen it's been an adventure for kick coverage, and maybe that's the thinking here for Rob Ash and company.
But this is where they got to be smarter. When you saw that kicker, he wasn't standing his 5, 8 yards or 8, 9 yards deep. He was short. So if you see him short, everybody should be moving up, because clearly he's not trying to send it deep.
Yeah, this is Jay Carlson, their kickoff specialist. He'll tee it up, this time 5 yards further back.
Same thing, he's lined up short again, so I would move up if I'm the returners.
It's right down the middle. Returnable for Brecky, and he just goes down. Could not get his footing and pick it up, and they'll have the football at the 29-yard line to start this.
See, these are the little things that make a difference as the game progresses, and we've talked about it. The special teams battle has been won by South Dakota State up until this point. And it's simple plays like that come back to haunt you. You know, simple adjustments that can give yourself a better chance to win.
The wind has been pretty steady from left to right here. And Montana State trailing by 11. Running out of time. They have all 3 timeouts remaining. Hand off Johnson straight ahead. And he leans forward for 4 yards. Now Johnson has that big playability, but they at some point need to start going downfield of the football.
Yeah, and you need to go quicker pace, no huddle, just like you did the first series when you got on the field in the first quarter. I think this pace needs to be a 2-minute type pace, because you need to score twice, and your defense has showed they've struggled a little bit getting South Dakota off the field.
Johnson again. And he's shut down. That's Cole Langer, the sophomore, who Coach Stiegelmeier says is our best player, pound for pound. He's 6'2", 295 from Del Rapids, South Dakota.
He just keeps finding a way, and You know, Montana State has some glimpses of success, but this defensive front, just like their counterpart offensive front, they've controlled the line of scrimmage the majority of this game.
3rd and 5 now. You got to credit Prukup. He's battled with a bad knee and MCL sprain, trying to give his team a chance here. They're 6 of 11 on 3rd down. They back off on the pressure. Prukup stepping away from the backside. He's hit by Sherlock, and the ball comes free. And the Jackrabbits have it. Recovered by Lally, and they've got it as he still fights with it inside the 20-yard line. Defense forces the turnover with 8:34 to go.
First turnover of the game, and it's an opportune time for the South Dakota State defense. They just kept the pressure going. They had zone and back. Nobody was open. No one was fighting to get open. Didn't help the quarterback out. He's looking around. Nobody is open. And then he's running to his left again. The pressure comes. Nice strip there. But it looks like it was
Sherlock.
Sherlock, yeah, definitely. And then the rest is just, as you can see, the melee. They get the ball. Big turn of events. South Dakota State's able to put points on the board right now. They're really going to make it tough for Montana State to come back.
They don't blitz much. They rally to the ball, and he loves the effort of his guys, and their defense comes up big. Sumner to throw it now, and it's incomplete. It was intended for Schneider and hung in the air for a bit there. Surprised they're not running the football here and using a little clock with the big lead.
I think they're going for the exclamation point. They're trying to put a nail in the coffin. I like the play call on 1st down. You know you're on the short side of the field. You can actually go 4 downs and just eat up clock after that. You can run the ball 3 times and make this offense have to try to go the distance. That's how well your defense is playing.
They've been a different team with Sumner at quarterback. Last 3 games, they handed off to Zenner running left. And he's tackled by Nate Bignell, the junior from Drummond, Montana. It'll set up a 3rd down from there.
And here's the thing about what they've been able to do. You think about, you mentioned they averaged, Montana State averaged 37, 38 points a game. When you can take a team that averages that, hold them below that average, and then proceed to continue to do what you like to do on the road, it makes it huge. And this is why these numbers, he's been very effective in the air.
In these conditions, pretty impressive for Sumner. He'll go for the end zone, and it is tipped. And is it intercepted? It is. They turn it over, and how costly is that as he was looking for Landberg in the corner? It's picked off by Robert Marshall.
Big play by Montana State defense, making sure no points get on the board. I thought it was going to be offensive pass interference because he's definitely pushing the DB. But you're seeing there the DB keeps fighting. Ball gets tripped up. Right there, Marshall comes in, sees it, gets that glove underneath it, tips it up to himself, and comes down with the ball. I thought for sure that was his offensive pass interference. Look at that. He just scoops it up, gets his hand underneath it. You can see the black glove underneath the snow. Watch again. Watch this ball come up. Look at the hand. Tips it up to himself. Snuggles it in.
They're going to review this.
I know they're reviewing it. To me, that looks like a legitimate interception. Not sure if there's enough information to overturn that. But watch his hand. See the tip of the ball. Watch where his hand is. Underneath that, that might have hit right there. So at that point, that might have hit the ground right there. So we'll have to see from this angle. There's the hand. Yeah, that hit the ground. I think that bounced up to him. It just looks, because of where his glove is, it looks like it is, but that's one thing that still helps him.
After further review, the ruling on the field is being reversed. The ball touched the ground, which resulted in an incomplete pass. 4th down.
Okay, it's 4th down. Now, they're going to bring the field goal team out here, Jay, so this could prove to be a big reversal because it could give them a 14-point lead if they can make this kick here, which could be an adventure.
Sure could have. And like I said, I think the referees missed that pass interference. But this being said, you go for the block, but there are ready to be two guys watching those up backs in case it's a fake.
Cervacca's already nailed one from 21. 30-yard attempt here, left hash. They clear a little space for him. Plenty of leg, and the kick is good. What a season for Justin Cervacca, the fifth-year senior. 18 of 19 on field goals this season, and he adds to the Jackrabbits lead. 7.5 minutes to go, 40-26 here in Bozeman. The winner gets North Dakota State and Fargo in the second round of the FCS playoffs, and it is 1 degree here in Bozeman. No dome football here at Bobcat Stadium. 40-26 after a Cervacca 30-yard field goal. Jackrabbits lead it, and Jay Carlson will kick it away. We have 813 yards of total offense in this game despite the adverse conditions. Kickoff by Carlson, fielded by Brecky, and a nice return, puts his head down, and it takes it all the way out to the 44-yard line. How about the receivers in these conditions? Great mental focus and concentration.
That's an understatement with the way the conditions are, how cold it is, that ball's hard. These catches these guys have come up with, and the quarterback's putting it on spots, it's just been nothing short of spectacular, especially this one-handed grab right there. These kids are leaving it on the line, playing hard, trying to find a victory for their team. Right now, it just seems those great catches are resulting in more points for South Dakota State than Montana State.
Bobcats still have a puncher's chance here. 3 timeouts left, 7.5 minutes to go. Prukop to throw it off his back foot, and there is an incompletion, and almost another remarkable catch. Mitch Greibel would have had a first down.
This offensive line from Montana State is just getting manhandled. The best term I can put it, that last drive, Dakota didn't have much time with what he wanted to do. They know he can't move much. They're just pushing the pocket in on him. They have to do better to give him a little bit of breathing room.
Highest scoring season in school history. 26 on the board today. They need a couple touchdowns to draw even. Stepping up in the pocket, Prukop. Deep ball, far side, and the catch is made. Or is it? No, out of bounds is Jayshon Gates. He did not get the feet down.
And you can tell he's very upset about that. He thought he had the catch. They're only rushing 2, and they're just keeping everybody at back just to watch. Catches it, 2 steps.
Well, that's a catch.
But he just couldn't hold on to the ball. It
didn't hang on at the end.
He didn't hang on.
You got to carry it all the way through the catch.
Yes, all the way through the catch. And so he caught it, went down, ball came out.
3rd and 10 now. You're going to run it here. Newell off the right side, and he has a first down. How about that? A 3rd and 10 running play, and it caught him off guard.
I think that's a good call, mainly because you know that they're sitting back waiting for it. And if you just saw the play before, you saw the 2 tackles just stand up. They actually didn't come with any pressure. That gives your offensive line the opportunity to get into them quicker and push the pile.
Newell's had a big game rushing, 3 touchdowns, picks up 13 on that carry. And they have it on the Jackrabbit side of the field now at the 43. 2 receivers, Page and Herbert. Prukop gonna run with it. Slides down just in front of the stick. And a late hit, and here comes the penalty flag. Melvin Tavares, they'll tack on yardage after that run.
Right there, ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing the reason that he's been hampered and haven't been able to do what he wanted to do. If that was his normal healthy self, he'd probably still be running for a touchdown.
Personal foul. Late hit on defense, number 1. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
So he does the smart thing by sliding. Once he gets a positive yards, defender has to be smarter than this. You see a quarterback going down, you know you can't do that. In this day and age, college, high school, pros, they're going to protect the quarterback.
First down from the 19, and before the snap, we have a penalty flag, and they're going to back up the Bobcats.
Start, offense, number 82, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's Herbert, the wide receiver.
Got to be smarter than that. You're the receiver, you're on the outside. There's no reason you should ever false start, just like there should be no DB ever having offsides. The referee is like right there. You just got to turn your head and look at him. He'll tell you if you're off or on.
Approaching 6 minutes to go here. 4-down territory clearly for the Bobcats. They need 2 touchdowns, and their defense needs to step up. Newell on the carry. Off the left side, not much available there, maybe 3 yards. And there'll be a 2nd and long coming up.
There needs to be so much more sense of urgency. The coaching staff from Montana State has to get this tempo going. They need to get their plays called in advance because this is precious time eating off this clock.
2nd and 12 now. Gates split left with Page. Couple speedsters top of the screen. Fake to Newell. Prukop has all kinds of time. Fires it up there into coverage. It's tipped and it's incomplete. Could have been picked off. A dangerous throw. They're lucky to live to a next snap here.
Not exactly sure who he was going to. You had 2 people there. You're going to watch as this play action pulls one way. Not able to really step in. He's just kind of flinging it. You got to put more into it. That's thrown into double coverage, or was he going to the guy in the end zone? It's hard to figure out. You had 2 guys in the same spot.
Yeah, Salino and Page were both there.
Right, but even the throw, if you watch that throw, you just can't flick it. You got to put some oomph on it, especially if you're trying to get to the guy in the end zone.
3rd and 12 now. Newell in motion. They're going to run the draw with Newell straight up the gut, and he's close to the first down again. A 3rd and long running play, and it gets him close. I think they're about a yard shy of the first.
Yep, and here you go, 4th down. Got to go for it. I think crossing routes is the way you need to go offensively with this type of situation. Fake like you're going to do the same type of run play. Get that defense thinking that. Pull those linebackers up. See if somebody can run away from somebody, because you know it's zone what South Dakota State likes to play. You just got to find the hole and sit down in it.
It's 4th and 3 at the 13. They're going to run Newell. Left side, did he get enough? He did. It appears he has enough. It is for a first down.
And they need to keep going. South Dakota State's done a good job. They remind me a lot of the Buffalo Bills, that bend don't break defense. And that's exactly what they've done. When you can throttle a high-powered offense and keep them down, you can see his numbers today. He's done a good job of trying to help this offense out.
Newell again, his 19th carry. Right up the gut, and the Jackrabbits turn him back that time. That was Lally in the middle of things, their leading tackler, and he got some help from J.R. Plody, the end, who's played big.
But I want you to look at this, Trey. How much time is coming off the clock? This plays right into what South Dakota State loves to do. They want you to give so much time, because then when they get the ball, they're going to run the ball. You got to be quicker. They've wasted too much time, in my opinion. 2nd
and goal from the 6. Handoff. Brecky puts his head down, drives for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Montana State.
Now, I think you got to go for 2.
That was Newell for the touchdown.
Yeah, Newell just driving it in, driving his legs. Good tackle coming in there, filling that in. But he was already at a point that he just kind of fell forward. Now you got to go for 2. I think you need to go for 2.
No, yeah, I think you kick it here. They have no confidence. In the kicking game, they're going to try to get a 2-pointer here. That shows you where they're at. They feel like they have a better chance to get 2 here and make it a 6-point game.
To the flat. They need to get out to the flat right now. In the corner route.
Prukop's in trouble. Shuttles it. And that's not going to get it done. Into the hands of Newell. They come up empty. Now they're still a score and a 2-pointer away. It's an 8-point game.
It's an 8-point game, and they got to find a way. This defense is going to have to rise up. But you're going to look at a South Dakota State team that's going to come out here and try to stop them. But the defense has to see they can come out and shut them down.
4 touchdowns for Newell. Rob Ash's Bobcats with a touchdown to draw within 1 score here after Chad Newell scores from 6 yards out. 8-point game, FCS first-round action. They have had 4 failed conversions, including missing on a 2-point play at the end of that drive.
Yeah, you know, when you don't have confidence in the kicking game, and when I say kicking game, that means the snapper, the holder, and the kicker. It is 3 parts to it. Then you got to do what you got to do. Got to come up with some better plays, though. You had an opportunity. this offensive line, I hate to berate it, but they've just struggled against this front. South Dakota State's pretty much done what they wanted to do in regards to pressure on the quarterback. And it doesn't help that he's not able to scramble under his normal self.
Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. Dally with a bouncing kick that's fielded by Butler at the 8-yard line. Ryan Butler to the near side, down the sidelines. A nice return for South Dakota State. They've been pretty consistent in that area here on the snowy field. Still a lot of time left as we look at the FCS brackets. The winner here advances to Fargo to take on the 3-time defending FCS champions, the Bison. Richmond moving on. Sam Houston State as well. Liberty trying to do it to get a matchup with Villanova, top of the bracket. Liberty's first appearance in the FCS playoffs.
They're showing off well.
High formation, center, hit in the backfield and drop. Odin Coe, the junior, the bandit end with a big play.
Huge first down play. Both teams, Montana State, they need to force a 3-and-out. You're going to see just blow through there, wrap up high. Fortunate he's big enough to hold on and bring him down. But they need to, as time is ticking away, they need to make sure they force a 3-and-out. There can be no penalty, can be no first down. If you're South Dakota State, you're just doing what you do. You're trusting your defense. You just want to eat time off, punt the ball.
They will play close to the vest, hand it off to Zenner, running right. Zenner turning it upfield. He breaks it. He has a first down and more. Zenner going for another touchdown. He's gone. Four touchdowns, runs, a touchdown reception. He goes 69 on that one.
You're seeing why they call him Mr. Everything, the pre-med student. No one wanted to recruit, just trying to eat up clock. And look at the blocking. We talked about it so much, how the front has just been winning this game. They created such a big seam for him, and when this big back gets out there, he is just not getting caught from behind. Great play call, better execution by the offensive front. South Dakota State's big men, offensive line, defensive line, have pretty much won this game because they've established the dominance. 8
200-yard games in his career. You're watching one of the greatest running backs in the history of FCS football putting on a show here. Look at the numbers. 252, and he got him off on the right foot to start this, and he's carried it on through the entire game.
Well, let's break this down. 69-yard rush touchdown, 69-yard reception touchdown, 41-yard, I believe, yard rushing touchdown, plus bruising yards in between. He can just get it done. I think he needs to take his dining commons card and take his offensive linemen to the dining commons and buy them a meal for the work that they've done for him today.
That's over 6,000 career rushing yards, fourth in FCS history, 2-time All-American, 2-time finalist for the Peyton Award. I mean, you know, if his team continues on here, you know, what kind of accolades is he going to get? And the Bobcats fans sensing this could be the end here. Their defense has had a tough season all year long.
Yeah, the defense is just, it's been the weak part of the team. They averaged 38 points, but they were giving up close to that as well. So it makes it tough. And when you play against a team that can run the ball effectively, you got elements, and if you don't win the line of scrimmage, if you don't take good angles, if you don't team tackle, it's not going to work. It's just going to be tough. And then when you leave your corners out on man-to-man and they don't make plays, and then it's kind of hard to win the game.
Carlson squibs it into the hands of Johnson, runs into one of his own players and goes down at the 24-yard line with 3 and change left in this one. And this is a South Dakota State team I'm sure that North Dakota State is not going to be too excited about playing next week, having already seen them in conference play.
Right, and they know what they're about. Now, what North Dakota State has going for them is they are home. They have a week's more rest. They can game plan a little bit more. But that being said, sometimes when you beat that team the first time, it's hard to beat them the second time.
We're going to take a look at the rematch here in a second. If it does transpire, Prukop over the middle, and it's incomplete, intended for Herbert. 4 games ago, this was the first matchup in Fargo, 37-17, but you see that they broke it open in the second half there, Jay. That's what the Bison can do, but, you know, the Jackrabbits hung with them, and then things just kind of fell apart.
They sure did, and I think that team that played them then is not the same team that played them now. I believe their starting quarterback was not in that game as well, so you bring those factors into play, I think it'll be a very good game.
Yeah, that was Sumner's first game back off injury at quarterback. A much more, a guy closer to 100% now. And Prukop is tackled by Jesse Bobbitt as he takes it ahead for 5 yards. Look at this. That is what's stacked against them historically. But one game, who knows?
That's true. And I think that's one of the winning group for South Dakota State is these seniors. So it's a personal challenge to take on himself. You know, that's one thing of beauty about FCS, which FBS is slowly catching on to, is, you know, it's win or go home. And so when you have a lot going on, riding on the line, you're going to do what it takes. And those seniors, I guarantee you, they're going to play their butts off in that game.
It'd be hard pressed to find a better senior than Zach Zenner. What an effort today. Here's Newell straight up the gut for Montana State. He'll pick up the first down on 4th down to keep their faint hopes alive here with just over 2 minutes left. Now, you still have your 3 timeouts. You get a quick score here, an onside kick. You could even go play some defense here. It's an uphill battle.
Definitely an uphill battle, but
Prukop incomplete intended for Herbert there.
And you're seeing, and this is what South Dakota State does. I mean, they just play the zone and just play sound, disciplined ball. They make you make the mistake. They're not going to beat themselves. If you're going to beat them, you're going to have to make sure you execute. Montana State just had a hard time executing, especially on the front. And right now, they're only rushing 3. They're dropping 8. That's tough for a quarterback to throw into.
Prukop on 2nd and 10. Behind Herbert and almost intercepted. It's like Jake Gentile had a chance to come up with the interception there. And there's Zach Zenner. What else can you say about this kid? And a true scholar athlete in every sense of the word.
And that's what Coach said about his kids. He goes, man, they go to classes, they come to practice. I mean, that's what we have. We have kids that go to class and they come to practice and practice hard. And we're seeing that. I mean, they step on the field, they execute.
He had 295 yards at North Dakota a couple years ago. He's had some monster games rushing. Here's Prukop on 3rd down, evading some tacklers and slides down. You can see the escapability. It's unfortunate the MCL sprain is limiting what he can do, but one of the top dual quarterback threats in the country.
Yeah, because not only is that mitigating what he can do, the field condition in and of itself. So you add those 2 things together, they pretty much had a one-dimensional quarterback, and that's not how this offense is generated. They need their quarterback in that run option because, like we alluded to in the opening, 17 pass touchdowns, 13 rush touchdowns. That's a big part of the offense that just got taken away.
We're going to take a timeout here with a 4th and 6 facing Montana State with 1:49 to go. You know, South Dakota State last year, 9 wins, beat NAU, lost at Eastern Washington. Year before, 9 wins, beat Eastern Illinois, lost at North Dakota State. They have a chance now in the 2nd round to really take their program to another level with another matchup with North Dakota State. And this would be the year to do it when you have a guy like Zach Zenner.
And I would say that's the X factor. He's a back that's going to demand 8 men in the box, 9 men in the box. And in doing so, allows you to throw to the big receivers they have.
4th down. Prukop sets up the screen. Newell, he has a 1st down. They still have their hopes alive. Takes it for a big gain. Still on his feet. Great effort from Newell inside the 15-yard line. He has had a career-type performance, the sophomore from Billings, Montana.
They can set up a nice halfback screen, make you think they're going to the right, drops back, just dumps it over, pressure almost gets there, and then Noel does the rest.
Now we'll go Newell again. Bounces it outside, and he's cut down at the 6-yard line. Newell has 4 rushing touchdowns, nearing 100 yards on the ground.
He's been one of the lone good things that's happened for Montana State offensively this game. They've really just come into a South Dakota State team that has just been humming. You think about it, they had a tough, miserable loss their last game of the season. Wasn't sure if they were going to get into the playoffs. They got in, but that's kind of not the way you want to come in. They practiced well, kind of came out on fire. There's only been one turnover versus what they had before.
7 last game.
7 last game. But I think special teams is where the tone was semi-set in that opening kickoff. And give it up for South Dakota State. They have played sound and in my opinion, won on all 3 phases: offense, defense, and special teams today.
2nd and 2. Newell with 94 on the ground now. Gets the handoff and the carry between the tackles. Not much doing. Maybe a yard as we near the 1-minute mark. It is good enough for the first down. They have a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Newell again looking for his 5th rushing touchdown. He's got it. Shad Newell with 5 rushing touchdowns, and they keep their hopes alive here. Now, though, you're in a spot because you went for 2 earlier. You need an extra point to make it a 1-possession game, or you got to, I guess, go for 2 again.
I'd go for 2 because you need to make sure you have the points up there in the first place. Just a good, strong power play. This defense, they've been on the field a little bit. They decided to give the points up because it eats up time, too.
Well, they've got to get something here. This game's over. This come down to this 2-point conversion. Trying to make it a 1-possession game, and we have whistles and a timeout call by South Dakota State.
Timeout, South Dakota State. That's their first charge timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
We talked about the kicking game. Because of the missed conversions early, it's coming back and affecting them here. They have to go for 2, and they've lost complete confidence in their kicking game. So now, you don't get this, the game's over.
Right. And you have to go for it anyway.
Well, but you can't even count on an extra point in this situation.
And that's the thing about it. The snapper, the holder, the kicker. The kicker, the last one he attempted, he kicked it too low. You've had 2 bobbled snaps. I mean, the confidence isn't there. The 2-point conversion needs to happen so that at least you have a shot. 1 point, you would have to work your way down the field. Let's look at this. Watch. Mishandled right there. And then no one yelled fire. Peter was late delay. Busted on that play. Then the front gets blasted through. Gets blocked. Nobody doing the position on that one. Then another high snap. At least everybody ran out on fire in that situation, but incomplete.
Here they go for 2. The corner. They got it. The 2-point play. Herbert keeps their hopes alive. It's 47-40.
Great catch, and that was also pass interference. I wonder if that will get tacked on.
Pass interference, defense, number 25. That penalty is declined. 2-point is good.
Living right on the edge, Montana State. They get the 2-point play. Now they have 2 timeouts left and 1:10 left.
Yeah, you just throw it up there to your receiver, 6'4". You let him use his height size. DB just needed to turn around. Just needed to turn around. At some point, you got to become a player. You got to feel what's going on, make a play. Both sides of the ball have to kind of notice that in these man coverages. The DB's not getting their heads around. But they can live with that. They know that they just got to get in here and get this, and recover this onside kick to end the game. That's what the receiving team is telling themselves. Kicking team is saying, you know what? We have to get this ball.
Only 1 timeout left in 1:10. When's the last time you saw 87 points on the board in a temperature played in the snow in 3-degree weather?
Never. Never.
It's been a wild one.
Now this is interesting. He's going to have to make him play honest. They don't know which way he's going to go.
This is Trevor Bolton, the punter. He's a left-footed kicker to give a different look. They need this to have any hope. Bolton. Oh, and it's fumbled. It's loose. Who's got it? South Dakota State. It was close, a big collision there, and jumping on it was Connor Landberg, the sophomore from Laguna Hills, California.
Trey, that play had a chance. You can see it skips. It's almost going to go out of bounds. He gets it. And at that point, I would have had to wonder if that would have even been called a fumble because he went down as he got hit. That might not have been a fumble in the first place because he could have been down by contact because he had the ball, he hit the ground, then it came out.
Yeah, Dallas Goddard was the guy that got hit, but Landberg saves the day, and South Dakota State's going to get out of here with a hard-fought victory in the cold conditions. Final timeout taken by Rob Ash and the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's a we're not going to quit timeout type situation because there's really nothing else you can do. They're going to be able to run the clock out. What can you say, though, about South Dakota State? This coaching staff. You're looking at a coach that played there, and now all of a sudden he coaches there. And it makes a big difference. His motto is, you know what, I let my coordinators do their thing. I just get out of the way. I don't micromanage. I just want to make sure my kids are ready.
Well, he needs to get a lot of credit with the program since 1988, winningest coach in school history. 36 Missouri Valley wins. That's fourth in league history. And they'll get a rematch with North Dakota State in perfect conditions in the Fargo Dome.
And, you know, that's where they played them before. They'll play them again. And like I said, if we see what we saw today, North Dakota State's going to have a tough match on their hands.
John Stiegelmeier with career win number 120, and it's a big one for this program as they win in a tough environment here at Bobcat Stadium. 3 degrees, 1 degree, the latest reading. Snow throughout the day, 47-40 final.
Yeah, what a game, what weather, but what offensive output because the defenses just couldn't adjust. I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of poor tackle, a lot of poor angle, but the offense was smart. They knew where they were going. They used it against them, and I think the fans had got tribute to a great game. All
right, so the rematch, what do you think? Second time around, do the Jackrabbits have a chance to pull off the upset?
No, being that we've seen both teams, I can see it, especially if they play like they did today. Don't give up any big plays. They only gave up one. It didn't lead to a touchdown. They kept everything in front of them, and if they run the ball like they did, they can win that game.
Congratulations to John Stiegelmeier and South Dakota State as they win a wild one here in Bozeman. For Jay Taylor and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Trey Bender saying so long from Bozeman, Montana. To watch a replay of this entire game, as well as other games on the ESPN family of networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN. Good night from snowy Bozeman.